Here we go. So yes, apparently I had almost the perfect timing starting up a new Stellaris playthrough last week, because yesterday, beta build of patch 3.3 was publicly released. So, being that this is a beta, we may find issues and problems and things not quite working out as they should be. So we will need to have a tiny bit of patience with that. I did check on my test playthrough quickly yesterday just to make sure that the game wouldn't just completely crash out when we loaded into it. So we want this one where we have the 3 planets, other than this one which is my test game. So we want to load into this, and one of the changes that is almost immediately present, we can see here, we have our Empire spool, but we don't actually have like a admin cap or anything. And the other next big one is recruiting scientists and leaders, which now actually costs us 200 influence. And we are gaining 20 a month. We're producing not quite 50, and we're consuming 29 a month. Part of that is because some of our scientists, like here, are not actually doing anything. So for once, it's actually a lot better to just get rid of any leaders that you have that aren't doing anything, because they take up, I think it's 2, let me just have a look. So 29, so that should go down to 27, 25, maybe? No, and I have no idea what that thing was that just beeped at us. But anyway, so here we are. We are the Pickling Star Coalition, and this is the galaxy that we are in. We have the galactic community available, and yes, we did leave this when we were actually at war, but we have a fair amount of, well, they're basically 20% higher in war exhaustion than we are. We have this settlement which has 1 unemployed pop. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can do anything about that, so instead, let's have a look here. What is our deficit? So we've got some energy deficit. We've got, oh yes, we want some consumer goods, and probably also here as well. So our relic world is only 55% habitable. So non-adaptive and aquatic is reducing that by 30%, unfortunately. So we may need to actually kind of have a look at that when we have the option. So one of our fleets is, yep. So yes, I'm aware of all that. We have a new ascension perk we can grab. But anyway, this is going to be very interesting because we don't technically have Empire Sprawl. So let's have a look at our, not policies, we want our edicts. So our Empire Sprawl increases our edict upkeep, so we are at 140%. So we can see here that we've got a fair amount of options. So let's have a look. So anything that we can do. So Starbase upgrade speed, Starbase capacity, but also Empire Sprawl from systems. I think I will go for fleet supremacy. Research subsidies, no, we don't quite want that. Information quarantine, no. Map the stars, no. Education, recycling, terraforming gases, no. I think we are fine on that. And oh yes, we can see there, so we've just jumped up massively on our unity gain. Oh, production. We are still a little bit behind on consumer goods. Okay, so that is a fleet of 1,300 power. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that we really can do. So we'll let you there. And unfortunately, let's have a look at Fleet Manager. We have 565 alloys, and I don't think we'll be able to really do anything. Yeah, we'd need to get up to 30 ships, and unfortunately we've only got enough to reinforce 4 at the moment. So if we go back here and we just say to reinforce this, that should pull straight from this. Yep, there we go. So it's pulling straight from that one, which is good, which is what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, we are probably going to lose this territory. I'm not going to surrender, though, even though... actually, if we surrender right now, we will still only lose that system. Status quo, they will get that system, yeah. If we manage to conquer them, then because we set up our own claims against them here... Okay, yeah, I think... honestly, if we just keep at this, we are going to just destroy our fleets for no good reason. So we'll surrender. That means we have 10 years of peace against them. And also the Empire of Burdia, we have a truce with them for, yeah, about 7 years. So we can settle, rebuild, get our infrastructure and everything back up as we want it. So we do have a pirate fleet up here, which is unfortunate. When is this potentially going to return? I cannot quite see. Yeah, I can't see when that is going to return, so unfortunately that is going to be a bit of a bad situation for us. So I will send you, assign you to Japris station as your home base, and then, like I said last time, we can just basically have them kind of going from here to here. Okay, who is the Obars? Okay, so you are basically just coming back in. So Ostique, so you're claiming that one, and the Orobrea, so you've come down here and you are claiming our home system. Okay, so you are being an absolute aggravation to me. So new research of shields, and what else can we get? I think honestly we are going to have to, so there is no special ones there. So I think we had shield nullification down here. So I think if we get a new reactor in, so yeah, shield nullification minus 100% there. Nebulae locks, intelligence. Okay, so we're mostly okay if we do stick to shields. And similarly up here, it's a trinary system. Nothing. We don't know about that one. Class M star. Class F. Another trinary. We don't know. But yeah, most of these, I think we're actually going to see if we can try and push towards the Birdias. Because even though they do have a non-aggression pact with the Inari, do they have a defensive pact? Yes, with the human diaspora. So they are considered superior to us in terms of fleets, and they are equivalent. So if we actually manage to build up our fleets a bit, then we potentially have... oh yes, no, that's not the right thing that I was thinking of. So that is a hostile fleet, which we can't do anything about just yet. It's a little bit out the way. Oh, there is that fleet. So yes, unfortunately we kind of have this section down here, and then we have this bit up here, which is more or less a kind of different system. But anyway, we'll send ours up there. 669 days, unfortunately. How long would it take you? 900 days. Okay, so no, we don't want to do that. We want to merge those two fleets and send you down to Japris as your station. And that is Archaeological Site. So Asteroid Vault. We've got an improved production and 8 minor artifacts. Okay, so that is done. So that's science ship. That one is assisting research. That one is evading hostiles. And there we go, that one. We had just finished our excavation. Unfortunately, because of this here, we don't actually have an option to move it around. So let's go for Fleet Manager now. So we should have some of these. So you're merging. Okay, so you are not additional fleets, you are genuinely Madar. So you are genuinely being ones that are just merging with the others. They're not additional fleets I had set up. So anyway, we want a new leader. So let's hope. No, okay, that one is going from the home base. Right, so we will need a new admiral. And what do we have? Logistician, resilient, or eager. I think I will go for eager just to get that one out. And we have one of them that's come into that has been unyielding, but no, not for the moment. And of course, also seeing as we do have additional sectors, we can have a look. So we do have dense jungle, which would give us a crystal mine. And then obviously on here we have all of these things. So odd factory, central spire, industrial sector, and dense ruins. So we do have a few specialized things that we can do here. For the moment, I think we will just build up our city district because we need some more amenities. How is Imidar Prime doing? Yeah, you need some more amenities as well. And this one is pretty much holding steady. Plenty of free housing, but unfortunately no real jobs available. And 69, nice trade. Yep, so that is
intellectual booty.
There we go, more naval capacity, and there we go, improved production. So capital building, resources from jobs is up 10%, but also upkeep from jobs is increased by 10%. So we can just finish that off.
Intellectual booty.
And then we have reverse engineer minor artifacts could be interesting, but we also have gene modification. And then also fleet command limit. Or planetary capital. Oh, I think we'll go for planetary capital because that will help us in long term. Like here, we'll potentially be able to upgrade it when we finish that research, and that will help us out in terms of any future unemployment. Oh, our relic activation. Oh. Okay, that is a big window. That is a big window. I don't think it's meant to be that big. So latest or leaked recordings of one of our envoys' private conversations have the Empire of Berdia up in arms. In a regrettable moment, Ambassador Bodashtat seems to have called our hosts disgusting chickens that resemble poultry in both appearance and character. So we've got alien sensibilities do not matter to us, so minus 35, but we gain 500 unity. Recall her, or do we have... I can't see if there's another option, unfortunately. No, there's no other option. Yeah, I think I will recall her. So anyway, what I was going to say was the Omni Codex, 3000 unity, gene modification points +1, that's a passive effect, so that is regardless of whether it is active or not. So the active effect would be spawn pops from an extinct species on one of our planets. So the question is, do we do that? So essentially, what are the odds? What would be the odds of us, let me just actually find where we are once again, of getting one that's like an Arctic or desert world preference versus something that is kind of what we are. But you know what? You know what, actually? Society management. Let's do for that. So, pick a we'll go through the codex and pick a species. Can we actually? No, we can't. Okay, so this was Ocean World, Relic World. So let's do Rule Prime then. And let's have a quick look. What population did we get? So we have a lithoid. A lithoid species. I have realised probably one of the issues with that pop-up is I am running some UI mods, so I wonder if it might be worth actually going back and disabling those. So anyway, traits as a relic world preference. So lithoid consumes minerals instead of food, natural sociologist, conservationist, and you are egalitarian, I believe that is. Okay, so actually yes. Where would it be? Okay. So workshop and my items. Yeah, okay. So 2 of these were last updated in November and 1 of them last updated in January. So if I quickly save this, exit to the menu, and that is not going to give us any of the mods. So what I am going to have to do, so unsubscribe, I'm probably going to have to re-enable the game. So let me just set a bit up. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna quickly set that up and get it going. So I'll just put that there while I do some stuff and work it around and make sure that everything is as it should be. So Stellaris, load that back up, and yes, there we go. Okay, so fingers crossed that this is all going to be working fine. I've gone through and edited those mods that I had, so hopefully Yep, there we go. So we now have this back as the standard game UI, and oh my goodness, I forget how big the outliner is when you don't have any mods. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yes, so now we have a more traditional Stellaris UI system. So hostile fleets, yep, reinforcements in transit, Senate floor is now in session. So from the Galactic Market, yes, we will throw our vote in there, even though it doesn't actually work matter that much. And let me just have a look. Yep, okay, everything looks like it should. We have unemployed pops here, but we are... Ow, I keep forgetting that. Hello, Sin. How are you doing? Thanks for popping in and chatting. Okay, so we can actually upgrade this as well. So, yep, we will do that. Anything here? We've just got a city district. And up here, nope, nothing of particular interest. So we have one science ship here. You were researching our anomalies. Yes, because we've still got one down here. And I think that is it. So we'll probably be able to just retire that one once we have that finished off. And then we've got this one up here, which is going to be doing our archaeological sites when this little pirate group is defeated. Yeah, my day's going fine, Upasin. I've obviously started up Stellaris stream. It's been pretty quiet for me. I'm just hoping that we'll actually be able to do something in terms of actually expanding our influence in the galaxy before the end of the stream. Okay, how far away are you? 250 days more or less. And we are doing okay in terms of consumer goods. We probably just want to bump that up a tiny bit. That should be good. What games do I usually play? I do a fair few varied ones. When I started off, I kind of joked that it was like games that had a word that started with S in the title, because it was Stellaris, Stardew Valley, The Sims 2, all of those kinds of things. But mostly it is like strategy games, like Stellaris, obviously. Crusader Kings 3, I've got to come back on the docket when the new DLC for that releases in February. I've got City Skylines stream planned for Tuesday, which is going to be showcasing some of the airports DLC. I've been doing a few indie games as well. And so indie games, so Dead Cells is one that's been piquing my interest at the moment, as is Project Zomboid. RimWorld is another one. But yeah, I've got a ton of games that I want to try and sift through and figure out where we can actually get them scheduled in for a standard item. English isn't your native language, don't worry about it. So anyway, we have... Okay, so this is just one of the anomalies. So gain a bit of engineering research, which is nice to see. And let's go and... Oh, we've got some empty research. So moat harvesting traps. I know I think I saw one anyway. That usually only pops up in my experience when you actually have that available, but no, we've got rare crystals, we have exotic gases there, we've got an exotic gas up here, and we've got a living metal somewhere, which I can't find. Oh, living metal down here, but no moat harvesting traps. Oh well, I think I'll just grab that anyway because it'll be nice to have. Yeah, you can ask questions who pass in. I don't mind about that. And yeah, obviously I'll try and balance out chatting, answering questions, and actually going through and explaining what I'm doing here. So I'll just basically be keeping, or trying to keep, a running commentary on this as much as I can. The one thing I do want to do... Oh,
Give them a broadside.
I was going to say, where is that? But nope, that's the pirate fleet up here. So, and we should have more than enough, yeah. That is more than enough firepower to sort them out. That should make that a bit more secure, and then we can also get a fleet settled up in Imdar. How are you doing? Okay, you are 5 of 7.
Research complete.
So I'll bump that up to 10, and we have this one wherever you are. Ah, yes, because you were the ones there.
Intellectual booty.
Yep, so I'll send you down here. So why did I decide to become a VTuber? Because I'm in real life pretty shy, and I just wanted to avoid showing my real life face because I am just a bit nervous about like being recognizable as I am. So the option of being a VTuber means that obviously you have a face that you can present to your audience, you have emotion, and you actually have something that people can look at rather than just having someone with a game stream up. They're chatting away and you can hear them, but you can't really see like they're emoting and discussing, if that makes sense. Oh, so we can do habitability or building slots. Yes, we'll go for building slots there. And we could get an L-gate insight, gas extraction wells. No, we want to unlock cruisers. I think we want to start reinforcing and bumping up our fleets. I do have to prepare myself every time I click on the relic world though, because that is just... yeah. I think we'll go once more with some more consumer goods because we want to have that. So whereabouts can this science ship probably go? I think we'll send it over to... No path to there. Huh. Why is that? There shouldn't be anything blocking you. No idea. We still need to get the military base here, and let's set you to there.
Hostile station engaged.
That should be no problem. There we go. Ooh, that is interesting. So aside from various stolen resources, the module also contained an ancient datapad with partial schematics of what appears to be a subspace gateway. So L-gate insight gained. There we go. So pass in. Never really played a 4X strategy game. Looks really complicated. Yeah, they can be. Stellaris is one of the more approachable games in terms of how it's all formatted, though even then I still had to watch a fair few playthroughs from someone to understand it all, because if you don't know anything about Paradox, they have a habit of developing their games, putting out loads of DLC and add-ons for it, but then also upgrading the game and changing it. So if you were able to go and have a look at a video of Stellaris from when it was released and then compare it to this, which is the version 3.3 beta, it is massively different. So anyway, I'll just actually give a quick overview. So we have obviously a bunch of other empires and people who've like kind of claimed situations and like areas of space, and because of like our personality, so we are authoritarian, xenophobe and materialist. So basically we hate other races, we consider that strong hand is better for ruling places, and we are materialist, so we're focused on like developing robots and machines versus having a spiritual look onto the galaxy. Our start is something called Here Be Dragons, which means that we have this creature spawned in our home system, and eventually, soon, we'll actually be able to tame this and bring it into our military strength, which should hopefully be quite interesting. So, well, obviously with 4X games, the base thing is explore, expand, exterminate, and we're hoping to become the big crisis of the game, become or be the nemesis of the galaxy and take over as much as we can. Whether that's going to happen successfully or not is another matter, because I did try and do this when Nemesis originally came out and I just got absolutely flattened. So we want to probably reinforce you with a fair amount of stuff. Oh, and we've reached our maximum influence. So I'm going to go through and claim, how much is that? Oh, okay, oh, thank you for following. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, I had completely forgotten I'd set all of that up, and it's like, what? Why is that random music playing? Because it's your follow notification. Okay, so claims over there. Sorry about that. And I think we could probably actually do a few claims here as well. 220. Yep, let's do that. So when we go to war, if we don't have claims set up, we can say we want to get ownership of this and this section, but depending on our stats and such, it may cost us even more influence. But for now, let's go. So we are reinforcing that fleet, so that means
Research complete.
yep, so we're getting them built from that starbase right there. So there we go, moat harvesting traps. And yes, I think I'll go for the X-ray laser and once again start building up our strength, because we are a fair bit behind. We have our corvette ships here, but destroyers, so these are like just being automatically upgraded. And while I think about it, let's actually have a look. What do we have? So we've got small weapons and so missiles. We have slots for 3 small weapons, or we've got point defense and 2 small weapons. Let's have a look at this. What is our point defense? Very poor. Okay, never mind on that. So we do have destroyers, but in terms of the whole, not even the meta, just general usefulness, they are nah, not really that good. And then our defense platforms, which we really need to get set up differently. There we go, we need a hangar slot and get some improvised strike craft into there. Then once again we'll do 1 lot of shields and 2 lots of armor, so we have 3 and 3. Reactor booster, we don't need that one. Ah, there we go. I was trying to figure out, or trying to remember where that checkbox was, and it is there. So we do want to make sure it gets auto upgraded, so we'll leave that there, and I'll just redo my changes. Get our armor in and our additional bit of shielding. We don't need a reactor booster, we can save that because it's got plenty of power, as we can see here, plus 81. And do we actually have enough to build up? No, we need 360 alloys if we want to do that. The bronze Suffet fleet has been fully repaired. Does need to be reinforced, and we will need to also upgrade it with all of our different options as well. What I'll do is I'll reduce that down to 20, and hopefully by the time we actually need to upgrade it even more, we'll be able to have our cruisers in line. Repair my ears. Ow. Yep, no worries, it'll pass in. I'll be right back here. I'll be here when you get back anyway, no problem. So we're at construction ship. We do have a few mining station or a few more resources we can grab from up there. Our other one is down here. Yes, I'll leave it there. And then this one, as we now have a clear path, we can go through and get it to excavate some more of our dig sites. And the Inaris are deciding to come through and be annoying. Okay, so we've got one more building slot on our planet. Energy siphon, which is kind of not really that much. Ecological adaptation, so we could terraform, and I believe we have one planet that was... that is not the right one. Expansion. That was ripe for terraforming, I believe. I can't quite... there we go. Cranth C4. So, okay, we need the climate restoration technology rather than the ecological adaptation that I was thinking. So that could lead to the climate restoration one. So diplomatic weight plus 10%, or do we go for gene modification? Let's have a look at our species. So now we're missing the gene tailoring technology itself. But yes, let's go for that. And then we can potentially see if we can adjust our species a tiny bit. Upgrade our planetary capital, and that will get us some more jobs and options. Who is rivaling us? The human diaspora, which is to be expected. Okay, so if fleet power is equivalent. Fleet power is equivalent, their technology is inferior, which is interesting to see. So we could potentially take them on in a moment. Pause out while we have a look. So destroy build cost, don't really want to bother with that. We could get an upgrade to the starbase. We can upgrade to level 3 advanced strike craft. Or we could get plus 500 cruiser hull points. I think the cruiser hull points will be the one that we need to do the most. Ah, there we go. Birth of the Galactic Market. So there we go. The senators voted on and passed. So what I want to do, go here. We don't actually... Ah, yes, because... Yep, I remember now. So what we need now is to actually settle an option for where the Galactic Center is going to be. There we go, Galactic Market. Why do I use the neurodivergent trait? Because, well, I am neurodivergent, and that probably ties into why I decided to do the VTuber route. In real life, I am diagnosed autistic, and I have kind of OCD traits and borderline ADHD as well. So it's kind of a system where it's obviously I'm letting people know that I am neurodivergent, so I'm going to be potentially a little bit not as typical as other people, and kind of hoping that also it allows people to identify that, yeah, this can be a fun place, a little safe haven if you are neurodivergent yourself as well. Okay, so we've got those stations up there, and I think because of that we will disband this fleet. We don't need any of that, and we can do some more traditions. So orbital bombardment damage, so never surrender, or we can go for defensive zeal. Yes, defensive zeal sounds a lot better. And then that will allow us to get some more star bases and reduce the upgrade cost of them as well. Then when we finish that off, we'll get another Ascension perk slot. And from there we will need to consider what we're going to get, because as soon as that third one unlocks, we have the option to select to become the crisis. Yeah, no problem for that. We pass in, and I will say if I'm not comfortable answering a question, so you don't have to worry about that. And yeah, because I'm doing as a VTuber, I'm also a bit more open to discuss my experiences, because there's a layer of anonymity between it, so I can talk about things without necessarily worrying that I'm going to be saying stuff that people who know me in real life will be able to identify and not be the friendliest towards me, though hopefully no one in my real life would be like that anyway. So chemical plants will turn minerals into volatile motes. We could do a listening post. I think point defense, I cannot remember if that one's actually useful or not. So hyperdrive, that increases the speed, I believe, so we will go with that one. And what else do we need to focus on? We need some more food. That's a bit more desperate. Ah, yes, I keep forgetting about that. Relic worlds cannot have any kind of food production. Do we have... Ah, yes, okay, that was where the moat harvesting was, because we have a resource here where we can do that, but unfortunately I don't think, no, we don't have any food producing capabilities there. So we'll build one here, and hopefully people will kind of shuffle around a bit. And we want probably a new city district. No, we don't want a new city district. We want a commercial zone or hollow theatre. I think we'll go with a hollow theatre to get our amenities up and make sure people are a bit happier. So, oh, we've got a new person who's joining the galactic community. So the United Sathori Gemini. Can't be exactly where they are. Oh wait, oh my goodness. Okay, that is cute. They are a tiny, tiny little empire here. That is cute seeing a lot about that one. So you pass in. You like the concept of VTubing because they can use the model that they like or even created. It's a choice while usual streamers can't change their appearance. Yeah, that is another option as well. I've been dabbling and trying to learn Blender in order to create an upgraded version of my own avatar. And actually one of the things that I was saying earlier today was that in real life I actually have a bunch of different graphic t-shirts, and if I wanted to, with a VTuber avatar, I could make like some, say, a specific t-shirt where I wear that on my avatar when I'm actually playing Stellaris. Then I have another one where I'm playing a different game, and it's just amusing for me, at least, to have a little tie-in. Okay, so the Inaris are... Where is Krant? Up here, okay. And the Thespia system. So there we go, up there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This was not a good galaxy to spawn into. And the Empire of Berdia has declared us as a rival. Can we actually rival them back? Nope, because we never finished. Okay. Where is declare war? Oh, okay, so we've only got about 1 year. Unfortunately, so 1 year, equivalent and equivalent. So, yes, we are going to need to work on that, I fear. So you are 9 out of 10, and we want to probably increase that by 15. And reinforce the fleet for there. So you saw someone in Blender Works on Twitter. Yes, they were kind of fairly early getting used to the system, because I did try and Inari, stop claiming everything that belongs to me. Oh my goodness. Oh, I missed this one. Okay, so overgoing processional entrance. Okay, so that's just basically we found something.
Booty.
Research gene modification points unlocked. And yeah, we have hydroponics now here. Oh. Okay, so the Inaris are actually moving into these areas that were previously blocked off because they have hostiles there. And where else can we go? Okay, so the Picklings we can't really colonize. We did get a few people for that tech world. So the population, let's have a look at your species rights for a moment. So we don't want them to be slaves. So we'll allow you, yes, residency, so that will move that. Living standards. Let's see, put it up to decent condition. Military service, soldiers only, yeah, because you don't really have anything. Colonization is allowed, no population controls and no migration controls. Time for me, it is 2:30 or 2:30 p.m. for me. How about what time is it for you? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so anyway, those have more species rights, so okay, so we do have some potentially colonizable or more colonizable worlds here because of that secondary race that we have, but it's still not amazing. So what I could do, so what do we have more of? So 1 Arctic, 2 Arctic, I'm gonna have to write this down. Just quickly get notes up. Okay, so Arctic, tropical, continental. So for you, 5:30 p.m. GMT +3. Okay, so just trying to think. So you're kind of the Eastern European band. I'm just trying to geographically think. So that extends down Middle East. South Africa's on the same time zone as we are. Madagascar maybe 1 ahead, 2 ahead, but in that general area. Okay, anyway, so 1 Arctic, Arctic continental desert. Then we have more Arctic here. There's 4 Arctic. 5 Arctic actually. Yeah, it may be worthwhile us going through. So that's an arid world. Another tropical world. And tundra. Okay, Western Russia, so roughly whereabouts I was thinking. So this is a nice, hopefully relaxing evening watch for you then. And hopefully it's going to be interesting and entertaining. So what I'm doing with all of the worlds here is that there are kind of 3 groups of worlds. You have your like cold worlds, hot worlds, and wet worlds. So we're an aquatic species, which means that we are really good where it comes into having ocean worlds to colonize. But it does mean that we have a negative I can't think of the right words at the moment. Habitability, there we go. So our habitability is a bit iffy when it comes to even like worlds in the same grouping as us. So continental worlds would normally be okay because it's based on Earth, so you've got about like 30% land to 70% water. But even then, there's like housing usage on non-wet worlds is up 30% and habitability is down 20%. And with that, I also chose non-adaptive, which is another minus 10%. So in all of that, it means that not very many worlds are colonizable for or by us. In contrast, the Bodronites are somewhat happy on these worlds. So what I'm actually thinking is that we send some of them to colonize one of these Arctic worlds that we have. So size 15, size 18, there's a size 19 there. There's a size 22 tropical world, which will be good to get. Yes. So let me just have a look. What features do you have? Oh, that's actually quite good. And so I'll send across. Actually, our picklings have 55% habitability for that. Yes, we will colonize that. And there was a level size 19. There we go. So we'll send you over there to colonize. And it is 50%, so it's... they'll live there, but they'll complain. So, Amber Puzzle Box. So that's just more another interesting bit to do. And what I'm hoping is that one of our relics here, the Omni Codex, allows us to spawn population from an extinct species on one of your planets. So this means that hopefully when we get those 2 new worlds colonized, I can click this, I can select one of those planets, and one of the extinct species we'll get will either be one that, let me just move that out of the way, is either going to be very well suited to a tropical world or very well suited to an Arctic world. And when that happens, we have all 3 main planet types or planet groups covered for colonization. So this is a travelling caravaneers, so show us your wares. So what do you have? For a small donation, we'll share some of her wisdom with you. So technology gained new mystic data modelling for 3,500 credits. Okay, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means, but yes, we will grab that. Okay, energy credits from jobs plus 5%. That sounds okay for me. And we are also going to need a bit more mining. Habitability modification, yes, we'll grab that. How are we doing here? We've got 2 new building slots. We should be okay for there. We'll build up a mining station or mining district there. And yes, we need a lot of minerals here, so we'll build up quite a few. What do we need to upgrade this? Population greater than or equal to 25, and we're at 8. So that's not going to be something that we can accomplish that quickly. That looks fine. So when we do come in and colonize those planets, our economy is going to take a bit of a hit because we're going to have to be supporting them and kind of like making sure they've got enough food, minerals, all of these things while they get set up. So we have an abandoned ship from the Caravaneers. So let's go and have a look. So where is that? Over here in Talan. Yep, so there's the Caravaneers, and they've left one of their ships behind. So I think this is... we need a construction ship. And of course I got rid of one of mine. So thankfully we have it here, so we can research the project in the system. And we'll get you to just chill back here again. My cat is really cute. Thank you. I'm sure he'll appreciate being told that. Everyone who sees him seems to find him absolutely adorable. And just to head off the potential question, he is a breed called an American Curl, hence why his ears are as they are, and he's a long-haired version of the breed. And we've had him for, gosh, well over 6 years at this point, so he's had a nice number of years around with us. You know that breed? That is interesting, because usually when I tell people about it, they have no knowledge about it. And I was wondering just when the Birdiers were going to try and declare war. So unfortunately, they want a huge amount of territory from us, and potentially they have also brought in the, yes, human diaspora are also one of the ones that is going to be called in as well. So we have an equivalent fleet power to them and equivalent to them, but I'm hoping that the human Star Corps... Let me see, so you are rivaling, obviously, us. Okay, and if I remember correctly, being a rival means that the passageways between the empires, if you're a rival, it is automatically closed. So once again, I don't think the human diaspora can actually come into our territory, so it is going to be us against the Birdiers. Oh, so where is that fleet? Okay, that is a fleet power of 1,500 there, and if we actually bring you down here, it is going to take you absolutely forever. We'll leave you up there, and let's have a look in here. So what is the fleet power of? Almost 5,000 for that station. So, a person, your mother is a breeder and veterinarian, so you know about different breeds of cats and dogs. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make sense as to being knowledgeable on a wide variety of breeds. So seeing as you did say you had dogs earlier, does your mother breed just dogs then? And if so, just out of curiosity, what breeds does she breed? That was a weird sentence. English, you are so strange sometimes. Okay, so we did have technology research. And we could go for robot assembly plants or robot workers if we wanted. For now, I think if we go to the ion cluster and ship designer. Okay, so yes, we have unlocked cruisers. So if we go to this, the fleet manager, so we can add a couple of cruisers in, and as we can see, they have a lot higher firepower So one corvette gives us about 50-ish, whereas one cruiser is 328. So how many could we reinforce for there? So it's 570. So she breeds Jack Russell Terriers and miniature Bull Terriers. Okay, so yeah, well, what I consider kind of pretty standard, pretty common breeds. And saying about American coal cats being rare in Russia, yeah, they're rare over here in the UK as well. So it's well, an interesting situation because we've been trying to move house for a while, and during that time one of the American cow breeders in the UK that I was following said that she was going to stop breeding, and like the kittens that she had would be the last ones that would be adopted out. So at that time I only knew one other breeder of American cows, and that was in Ukraine. But I have since then found a new breeder of American cows that we could potentially talk to in terms of if we so wanted to get another American cow when we move house. So we will have to manage and make sure that our current cat is happy to have another cat living in his environment. So we are pretty low on energy. I'm not quite sure anything. Oh, this is a problem. Okay, this is a problem with me spending a week between streams. I've been selling off a ton of my resources. So we can actually cancel / remove that. We can reduce this down by a bit. Let's reduce that. We're also selling a lot on food, but we are also producing a lot, so we could probably do that as well. And we're buying 12 alloys a month. So I think we'll remove that one because that is almost 100 energy a month. So your mum's Jack Russell puppies are living with you for now. Yeah, they're cute, but you prefer more exotic animals, reptiles or spiders. Yeah, nothing wrong with preferring something a little bit different. Okay, so patterns on the box. So various forces described in physics. So that's gained us over 4,000 physics points. Which, if we actually go over to technology, so we can see here, so almost 220 points of progress a month. So a base of 83.87. Then because we have a bunch of stored research, that gives us an additional 83.87, and then we have all of those different modifiers which are also adding on to how much progress we're making a month. That was pretty good. So what kind of spiders and reptiles are you more fond of? And while I'm doing that, we'll actually go for a war goal and we'll conquer. So there we go. We don't want to move in to here yet because we don't actually have the fleet power to do so. We'll reinforce that and get a couple of our cruisers in, and I'll do the same for this one. We'll add in a few cruisers there, and even though this isn't going to be part of the fight, I'll also upgrade this. Oops, not to 68. That's a bit much. Up to 20. So that this one we can park up here against the Anaris and have that as one section that we can move into, and then obviously the other one we may have to do a fourth fleet. Actually, let me just go through that and have a look at it in more detail. Okay, so we have points of 35, 32 and 27. So our total naval capacity at the moment, if we had all of our fleets maxed out, would be 86. So yes, we can create a new one. So let's do that. And 2 and 3. That would be fine. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that one. Let's see if we could add another one to that one, another one to that one. Yes, okay, so we could have 4 fleets with at least 20 corvettes and 4 cruisers each. Okay, aside from that one, but we do have these raiders in here, which are 3 points each, so there would be a little bit over our fleet limit. So you like royal pythons, green iguanas, and Brazilian... Okay, 1 second. Brazilian salmon pink bird eating tarantulas. Okay, I'm going to have to look that one up because that sounds absolutely stunning. You have a python now and he's adorable. Yes, I imagine they are. Let me just have a look at that tarantula. Oh wow, okay, that one is fascinating. Obviously, I'm not going to put any kind of pictures up because I know some people obviously don't quite like looking at spiders. So, according to Wikipedia, anyway, popular pets in tarantula hobby due to their large size and readiness to breed. Okay, so I'm just guessing based on the description that I may have seen 1 or 2 of those around if they're some of the most popular ones. They do sound like a pretty good or tarantula pet because they do seem to be quite calm and docile. Yeah, I remember, or I'm going back like a good number of years, that a friend of a friend had a snake, probably a python, but I cannot guarantee that. It was quite fascinating to see them interact and everything. Oh dear. This is potentially not good. I will say that the one good point is that they are probably on the other side of the galaxy compared to us. So, we've received a communique from a previously unknown spacefaring empire that call themselves the 001 Matrix. So, a bit of background. In Stellaris, you have a bunch of pre-made civilizations that have obviously the same options of like starting environments, traits and such. One of the ones that you can create is a determined exterminator, a robotic race that will basically stop at nothing until they've wiped out all organic life in the galaxy. And this is one that is a created species rather than one that is available default in the game, but they are absolute, yeah. Organic vermin detected. Your infestation of the galaxy cannot be permitted to continue. So I think we will honestly just say alien scum. So where are they? Let me just have a look. Hey, I can't see them just yet. It may take a moment for them to pop in, or we may not be aware of where they are. Yeah, I just don't think that we are aware of where they are, which is a good thing because that means they're probably over here. And we want to stay away from them. Ooh, okay, I forgot that we were trying to do this. So this is us trying to talk to the dragon that lives in our home environment. Oh, rare crystal mining we've gained. So there we go, we have a little bit of extra research. What is your issue? So just one unemployed, but we have
Technology secured.
a bunch of jobs over here, so hopefully they will just emigrate over. Hyperdrive 2. And let's just have a look again at what we have. And I think, honestly, I'm just going to keep piling on for the shields. So we're at plus 82 credits. And the Inari are still trying to claim some of our systems. So where is our fleet? All the way up here. So for the moment, at least, we are kind of in a stalemate with the Birdians. So to settle... Gosh, why can I not say that at the moment? To settle the status quo, unfortunately, we will need to basically wait until they've reached 100% war exhaustion. And I'm quite surprised that we've not actually seen any of their fleets moving in, seeing as they are supposed to... I will say supposed to be available. So did we not actually get the listening posts? I swear we should have. The crew quarters. So transit hub, no. Communications jammer, defense grid supercomputer, no. Black hole, logistics, fleet academy, which has already been built. Okay, that's just not showing up for whatever reason. So what we want to do, gun battery and missile battery. Stop claiming my systems! And of course,
Establishing a new colonial outpost.
while I talk about that, so the Inaris are a race that I had created when I was playtesting a few things, and they've now just basically become one of the species that I allow to generate into the galaxy. So even without all this, I'd be able to tell you. So they're on the shoulders of giants.
A new colony is underway.
Which basically means that... there we go, the Galactic Market has been established. So basically, on the shoulders of giants is one of the starts where an advanced civilization kind of helped lift them up, but then that advanced species kind of disappeared. So you start with, as it says, an archaeological site in your home system, and then there's a fair amount of events and chains that go through, and I'm not going to say anything else, but it's basically you get a bunch of options where you can go through and you actually start uncovering what happened. So they're mammalian, which is honestly just a portrait thing. So they're intelligent, nomadic, enduring, quarrelsome and unruly. They're an arid species race, and they are egalitarian, militarist, and one trait in common with our current species is that they are materialist. So civics, warrior culture, and nationalistic zeal. We've got some ruler traits here. But anyway, Galactic Market established. So this is what I was hoping for earlier. We'll just get through these and put some new options up. We'll unlock those crystal mines because that will just take us a month to do. And new tradition. So yes, we want the fortress doctrine. And if we go over to the market, we now have slave trading available, which sometimes can be exceptionally useful because you can actually get various species, you can grab them from the slave market, put them onto your worlds and use them to colonize other planets. So I have put this down to very, very slow speed just to see if we can potentially grab any species, because they can just disappear in an instant. Oh, like that one. Oh, the Gregaria autocracy has been destroyed by its enemies. So, unfortunately, I can't quite remember who, where, or what that species was.
Secured.
So these are the crystal mines that we have grabbed. And Elgate Insights. Or I was going to say the habitat, but no, that's not what I'm thinking of. The habitat allows you to build a system, like a space station, around basically any areas. And what I was thinking was that that was going to be a starbase upgrade, but no, it isn't. So we will go for an Elgate Insight. And let's have a look. So our situation log, the L cluster, we have 2 out of 7 in sights. Upathin, no worries about that. No questions. I was just kind of talking about various things and just basically getting annoyed at our neighbours coming in and trying to claim all of our territory. So one thing that did get unlocked was the Galactic Market. So rather than us basically trading things essentially within our own system, we now have it being traded from like all over the galaxy. And one thing that unlocks by default is the slave market, which if you are quick with, you can basically grab any of the species that are available, settle them on one of your homeworlds. Okay, so like we have here, so this is the racket species, and it is a tomb world preference, but that basically means it has 60% habitability on pretty much every other planet. They are psionic, so communicate with each other through telepathy, and then we have a bunch of negative traits. So if they were anything other than a tomb world preference, that would be interesting to grab. And we've also got a robot here, but we're going to ignore both of those, and they've been picked up by someone else anyway. So unfortunately I think it is honestly just going to be the racket species and robots. Oh, nope. Right. I recognize... Okay, I thought I recognized that name. So the Gregarious were an earlier attempt at becoming like the big endgame crisis. So desert preference, but then I made them very strong and rapid breeders, but they are quarrelsome, sedentary and wasteful. However, they are desert preference, which means... So we have a desert world there of size 14. That was Arctic and Arctic. That is arid. So that is only size 12, unfortunately. Okay, so that wouldn't be as useful as I think. But anyway, you can see how the slave market can be potentially quite useful if you need some new species to help out. So this fleet is slowly making its way down. Do we have... No, we don't really have enough to reinforce. What we do have... No, we don't, because we need rare crystals for our defense platform now. So why is that? What is... Okay, the X-ray laser now requires us to have some rare crystals. So the good news is we have some available. The bad news is I pretty much destroyed all of our construction ships. So we need to either build one or send one around. And I think just checking on where the nearest star base is, or shipyard, is probably going to be just a good idea to build a new one and get that running. You are down there. You did finish that excavation, so once again we'll need you to move down here and grab another one and clear that out. We're losing intel on the human star core, which I don't really care about, and obviously the ascension perk, which we will need to wait a little bit for. So yes, I think we'll actually go to the market and rare crystals. So how much are they? Oof. Okay, some people are buying those. So let's add a new monthly trade and let's buy 2 of those for... oh, no, not 100. I always forget which button it is. Volatile motes we don't have to worry about because we do have an option up on our... where is it? Our relic world. Oh, and we do actually have our crystal mines. But you know what? Grab that one. We'll grab a mote harvesting trap, and that will just be our rare resource. I was going to say city, planet. Okay, past the cooperative research channels. So the Galactic Market, the Galactic Community rather, we have different options. So we can, with or using some influence, we can create a resolution if we wanted to. So for instance, we've got all of these up here, and then they go to the Galactic Community and go for a vote, and all of them have different positives and negatives. So for instance, the one that's going to be coming up next is Regulatory Facilitation, which means you'll have plus 20% to your diplomatic weight from your economy and plus 2.5% worker population resource output, but it also means habitability is reduced by 2%. Then we have various people. You have different diplomatic weights depending on basically kind of what you have, what things have been passed. And if you're really powerful, you can, at some times, completely sway the vote if you want. So anyway, let's just pause this. So, draconic communications. So, stumped by the dragon's utterances, hopeful that a breakthrough is just around the corner, the difficulties inherent in finding a common frame of reference remains seemingly insurmountable. This would be cause for despair if not for the behaviour of the dragon itself. It has been remarkably patient with our research ships intruding on its space. Been repeating the same set of glottal vibrations, roars or cries were it not for the vacuum of space, almost as if it knows what we're doing and wishes to help. And so Passin asks, as a neurodivergent person, you can tell me some things I'm interested in. From my experience or knowledge, is there systematic discrimination of neurodivergent people in my country? You were researching that when you were in medical university and you're still interested in such things. It's a tricky question for me to answer, if I'm going to be honest, because I didn't get diagnosed until I was 20. So quite a lot of things that other people have gone through while being diagnosed were just kind of completely bypassed on my end. Ooh. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment. I have like some kind of friends and like friends of my husband who have children who are neurodivergent, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily systematic discrimination, but it does very much feel like society is still struggling to figure out how best to like help, give advice, integrate neurodivergent people, especially when you have those that are obviously diagnosed as children, have systems and support in place, and then they turn 18 and there's a risk and chance of all that support and assistance just completely disappearing, because unlike what it may seem, neurodivergent children turn into neurodivergent adults. So it is... yeah, I would say there are systematic issues. I wouldn't necessarily say it's systematic discrimination, because to me that would imply that there is no effort to help, whereas there is, it's just trying to find the best path forward for everyone involved to get a society that is better able and better managed to meet the new needs of neurodivergent people. Okay, so anyway, this is the one of the galactic precursor races. So there are, I want to say there are 5 different precursor races in Stellaris, and basically it gets randomized whichever one the game uses when you start up a new game. Each one of the precursor races gives you different things, and being what we are, being that we are an aquatic race that has lower habitability on other planets, having the Bowl as our precursor race is stunning, because once we complete this chain of events, we get a relic that allows us to terraform planets into Gaia worlds, and Gaia worlds are basically the perfect environment for everyone. So Aparsin sounds really impressive to me in comparison. Yeah. Obviously, probably being in the UK, we are a lot better placed for neurodivergent people and being able to offer that help and support that other countries may still be struggling with. So it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, it could be better, it could be a lot better, but we do still have at least some resources in our disposal. So yes, that is going to be very interesting, having the Bows with us, or as our species. Okay, so have all of our fleets. Yep, so we've got both of our fleets down here, which is almost 5,000. And I think, let's see, so that will reinforce for not quite 600. Okay, so that looks like it will be both of them. Let's go to the fleet manager. Okay, so we can currently afford to reinforce 4 ships for what we currently have. So if we do that on that one. Okay, and that one. Okay, did I accidentally click to merge that? Because, whoops. Oh well. Okay, yes, let's reinforce that. Let's get those ones built. And hopefully that will tip us over 5,000 fleet power and we can actually go in and start attacking, being as we have been sitting here basically doing nothing. Nope. That was not what I was wanting to do. New research. And we can unlock some tile blockers, because probably from some of these planets that we have, yeah. So we've got massive glaciers that we need technology to remove, dangerous wildlife. Similarly here we've got toxic kelp, which is blocking 3 areas. So research that we had was either dense jungle or impassable mountains. Okay, that is annoying, because neither of those are what would really benefit us. So we could go for leader lifespan plus 10 years. Or we could go for colonial bureaucracy, which, yes, I think we'll want to go for. So reinforcements in transit is absolutely fine.
A new colony has been founded.
So we are getting 2 rare crystals a month, which is probably from where we are buying them from the market. We have a construction ship which we can send over here and actually start getting some rare crystals without having to pay for it. Okay, so workers, there's no one in the crystal mines or the moat harvester jobs. We do have one person in the odd factory, which is an in-game event. And we've obviously got a bunch of specialists here. So what would honestly be the best option? Oh, we need a bunch of amenities once more. We have plenty of housing. So we could go for 3 commercial zones, which obviously would produce 6 amenities each. Apollo theatres, which will give 20 amenities, yes, and we'll do that. And I think we'll also do a hydroponics farm and basically just start building up that city. And this one, Wormhole Stabilization, so that could be interesting. So we have a gateway and we have an L gate. I don't think we actually have a wormhole that is anywhere nearby, so yeah, a gateway there. So what this is talking about is this natural wormhole here, which could connect to anywhere else in the galaxy. Similarly here, this gateway, which is actually a synthetic construct rather than a natural wormhole. I mean, that could honestly just connect over to here. Or it could say connect over to a random system over here for all we know. So research complexes. Or planetary shield generator. Orbital bombardment damage minus 50%. I think we'll go for the research complexes because then we'll be able to upgrade those. And then that will just feed back into being able to get more research points, which then means that we'll be able to research things faster, and it will just honestly be a or just a natural reinforcement. So this has 5.4k power, and we should have yes, rank experienced. That's good. So it looks like yes, so all of these have been produced with some starting power. So let's go in and actually do the first battle of this war. So yeah, we are at 27% war exhaustion, 28% now, versus our enemies at 21%. So this battle is going to absolutely destroy. Oh, new faction founded. We'll have a look at that in a moment. So unfortunately we are going to get an absolute ton of war exhaustion on this, simply because we are going to be losing ships. They are going to be like, their starbase is going to be destroyed as well. But hopefully we'll be able to control this system, and with it having 4,000, or what was it, like 4.7 military power, if it can actually reinforce. Oh, who is that? Is that, I think that's just part of the station just flying off after being destroyed. So yeah, we can see here, so 30% war exhaustion is picking up just because of natural attrition, and we have won. So there we go, we got 5% attrition for space battles, 2% on their end, and we had have an absolute bunch of things that have just popped up. Okay, so you have a colony ship there, construction, site ship, but no fleets. I have no idea where they've gone. We'll pass in, I should go for now. Thank you so much for the stream, I'm glad to find your channel. Yeah, thank you for popping in and having a chat. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope I'll be able to see you around in some future streams. Have a good evening. and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Oh, so we've got a first contact thing. So our linguists report an astounding breakthrough. Despairing at ever being able to understand the dragon, they transpose the spectral map of its fluctuating corporeal energy emissions to acoustic waveforms. That is a mouthful. Yep. Bye. See you around. So as they listened to the results, they could not believe their otoliths, which I presume is the aquatic version of ears. So the dragon was speaking our language, but in a completely different medium. Its roars were only meant to draw our attention rather than attempt at communication. So we played all recordings with this knowledge in mind. The dragon's past utterances have been disappointingly puerile, grumbling about food, and the slow progress of the planet crawlers. Nevertheless, the creature now expresses surprise and pleasure that we are able to understand it. Indeed, it displays an alacrity not seen for many years. It has a matter of great importance it wishes to speak with us about, but only when we are ready. 150 influence, and the event incoming dragon speak happens. So the dragon launches into a lengthy diatribe about the wisdom it has accumulated over the eons and its observations regarding our attitude towards time and commitments, not to mention our still pitiful knowledge of the fundamentals of the universe. Apparently it considers us young and reckless and unworthy of this quest at present. So the dragon will approach us when it's ready. We gain almost 2000 unity. And that first contact event has been completed. So we need some engineering research. The exotic gas refineries is the other option for exotic gases. So this one turns minerals into exotic gases rather than being able to mine it out. Destroy our whole point, not really. So we'll go for the Star Fortress. So first contact, that is that one that has been completed. Archaeological Site is pending. So the Gruna waged war against the Bow, desiring the plentiful resources. So we now have a special project, former Bow Colony Investigation. There we go. So yes, Archaeological Site finished, so we can close that. And we can activate our relic once more, but I think we will wait for now at least, because we are 3 months away from getting another tradition option. And also, as we have the Bowl as our precursor race, that is going to be exceedingly interesting for us to start being able to terraform some of our planets. So we want to research projects in this system. We want to obviously keep an eye out on here. We need, yes, because they have a planet here, I believe. Let me just zoom out. Yep, they do have a planet here. So we do need our nearest system, which is Laura, and we need to recruit some armies. 5 should be enough, I believe. And I'm just going to quickly pause and take a bit of a drink, or grab a drink, because I have been talking a lot and I need a bit of refreshment. So let me just quickly do that and pause, and we'll be back briefly. I'm not putting a timer up because this will be just a couple of minutes. Okay, topped up my drink. Got something to just make sure that I can keep my energy levels up, so let's keep going. Oh.
Intellectual booty.
So, thankfully, because we managed to build up our fleet while we were waiting, we do have some options for us. So, that's research options. And... ah, there we go. Okay, that would be why we don't have the listing post, because I didn't research it. I thought we had, but no.
Is finished.
Okay, there we go. So, some more options there, so we can send this one and research or excavate. There we go. So, never surrender, or exhaustion gain minus 25%, which happened just in time. Especially as we now have completely filled up our influence bar. So there are 2 more systems that we can claim. And there we go. And how about here? There we go, just about enough. Like quite literally 840, 840. So we've claimed pretty much all of those systems there that we can. I'm trying not to go to war against the NREs, at least not right now. Probably what we want to do is get another spy network in. And let's go for gather information. So we have an asset we can use. And commence when ready and launch. So we are honestly probably just going to park
Ever stronger.
here while we wait. So unfortunately we cannot do anything. Oh my god, goodness. So they just basically spammed on gun batteries. So there's a crew quarters and a target uplink computer. Who's swearing at us? The NREs. So colonial bureaucracy has been completed. And this is toxic kelp, so that would be good for us. Auto curating vault. So administrator output plus 15%. Refit standard starbase capacity. Embassy complex. We'll go for tile blockers, because we do have some of those on our systems that we want to try and remove. And then we can come over here. So these can all get additional modules onto them, which we won't worry about just yet. Now, is it probably worthwhile, seeing as they just have 2 planets, it might be worthwhile, yeah, going through, and then, especially seeing as currently their stations, oh my goodness, those poor people. They only reinforce the station that was neighbouring us. They don't really have anything else. Yeah, 198 power, 198. Yep, oh my goodness, okay, you were basically banking on that one being enough to stop us invading. Aye. Okay, so we do have a transport fleet ready and available.
Our
So,
starbase is under attack.
charismatic. I was gonna say where, that's just a transport fleet. And take this out, no problem. Yep, there we go. So that is completely under our control. We are, mouse is being weird. 43 versus 33%. So probably actually what we'll do is we'll come down here and grab that one. So you are creating 1 more, so 112, so we'll be able to see how powerful that one is in a moment. Okay, 139. Oh, okay, so we've got an Inarian encryption key. So for 2 years we get +1 to our code breaking. And how strong is the defense on this one? 105. So I'll grab one more army, and then we can come through and start assaulting it. There's also some jobs that need doing. So we could increase... Oh, no, that's the admin office. Oh, okay, we'll need 45 rare gases to actually upgrade that. What are we getting per month? 3 rare crystals and 1 volatile motes, but no rare gases. So we actually remove that. And if we choose to buy these, let's do 3 for a maximum of 16. That's probably going to be not the best, unfortunately, but we can drop that down. So unfortunately we may be going into a little bit of debt to get all of that done. Gravitation has been completed. There's some more advanced research complexes. Plasma thrower, photon launches. We'll go for encryption, seeing as that will be actually quite nice and easy. And archaeological site, so that is just... We have something that has been going on. And then we'll come back up here. And a science ship, I don't know why. There we go. So that is the tile blockers done. And what else can we do here? So fleet command limit, which will be fine with, because honestly we have a fleet command limit of 80 at the moment and our overall naval capacity is 134. So I think I will push down on the habitability once more. And our transport fleet here is ready. So some ancient technology has become active. Ooh, okay, so that could be quite interesting. So anyway, we will send our armies down here. We will enter orbit rather than getting it to land, because we want to just have a quick look at things. And where is our situation log? So left behind. So track on map. Okay, that's all the way up there. And where is a science ship? Our nearest one is here, which is excavating that. That one there. You know what? Let's come over here, research those, and we'll send you up to here to research that and get that one done. So you turn consumer goods into Unity. But actually, I think I will... Do I want to demolish this or do I want to replace it? So it has 2 jobs. And do we have anything that has, well, luxury residences, but we are fine on housing and all of that. We could do commercial zones, but once again we have plenty of amenities. Could do alloy foundries. Yes, I think that's probably going to be the better option for us. So that has been done absolutely fine. So we'll come back down here. Hopefully wipes out. There's their fleet. I was wondering where that was. So they have like 3.4 from the looks of it. And also a science ship cannot do anything to our hostile fleet.
Intellectual booty.
So there we go. So their armies, yep, 105. So one thing that I just love doing, so order them to land the armies and then unpause.
Our landing party has reached
Excuse
enemy
me.
shores.
I just love that that the number of armies that you actually have correlates to the number of drop pods that go down. There we go, we have successfully invaded that planet, so now that is ours. Let's have a look. So we are 50% war exhaustion and they are at 41. So actually, you know what? There we go, so invasion over. Missing a bit of research. And yes, let's double down on the code breaking, seems we're starting to do that. Hostile fleets present. That is, so more excavations of the bow, hive mind. So the lack of structural ruins appears to be the result of the bow's reliance on organic technology rather than constructed, like a lot of the rest of the galaxy. There we go, so analyze the debris, so everything is fine there, and we will send you back to our home planet and start assisting research. So we are chopping and changing what our scientists are doing, but they are pretty much flexible in terms of who's doing what, so nothing major to be concerned with.
Our starbase is lost.
I don't know why that keeps on sounding, because we're not losing it. Okay, so once again I'm going to reinforce back here, because we should be able to kind of hide behind the starbase. This can probably go back to there, just to keep our army somewhat safe.
Special project is finished.
So, ancient drones, scattered of wayward drones. Initial disappointment swept away by the drone's erroneous IFF classification. So, drones once again lapsed into inactivity, being able to resuscitate them or take them apart, but we will keep an eye on them. And we'll send you over here to assist research. We do have a research lab available, so we can upgrade that. It will cost us 1 exotic gas a month. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so there we go on that bit.
A station is under attack.
Of course, it's telling us. Yes, it's telling us about these stations that we're losing.
Booty.
That's why it keeps on coming through. Yep. Keep on doubling down on that code breaking. And just keep that going. So do I want to push forwards and probably attack them? I think so. So they've got corvettes, destroyers, and cruisers.
Research complete.
Yeah, so let's go and see if we can head them off. So we've got Star Fortress. And what else can we get? So we could get civilian fabrication, which turns minerals into consumer goods. We could get a plasma thruster, rather. No, let's go for defense platform hold points. So we are moving across here, and hopefully we'll be able to grab these before they move too far. Okay, we've got them tagged on, so arrival date 80 days, more or less.
A station is under attack.
Archaeological site finished, so
Measure of situations amended.
there we go. So to the next colony we go. Let's just have a look at the situation log and see where that is. That is in our home system, interestingly enough. Anyway, let's go here and just keep an eye on this battle. It should be easily won by us without saying much. So they've obviously retaken the station that is here, but in terms of our actual fleet power, we have a few ships that are unfortunately quite low on like shield and hull points, so they've pulled out. But overall, we are winning, and we have first contact with the 24 runners. So stagnant ascendancy, this is one of our fallen empires, so we will just say you will embrace the greater good. Doesn't overly matter because they are a fallen empire and they consider themselves, if not above all the goings on in the galaxy, at least very disinterested. So where are you? Oh my goodness.
Project done. Not so special now, was it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, the 001 matrix. Their icon is huge, so there may be a problem there. Yeah, here we go, the 24 runners. So we have no idea how many planets or anything they have. We know that they're humanoid and they are continental, no, tropical. So unknown origin, they're at war with the human diaspora for some reason. So the Birdian... Oh, nope, that's us. So defensive war. So I have no idea why they were at war with them. So they are not completely... not ignorant, ignoring the wider galactic world. So anyway, former bow colony, the Shattered. So initially certain they had made a triangulation mistake when deducting the coordinates of the supposed bow colony in the Ouroboros system, having found nothing but asteroids where they expected a life-bearing planet. The once lush planet was blown into several thousand rocky pieces by some unknown collision. So one particularly promising asteroid has been selected for further study. So once more, we need to have a look at our situation log. There we go. That looks to be... Oh, okay, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay, apparently I've managed to somehow mark everything of interest that we need to do. Whoops. You are moving to the Emadar. Oh, you're all the way up there. Okay, gotcha. The excavate site, and I really need to get rid of all those blinking ones. There we go. Stop tracking. There we go. Okay, so we've got the right one. So let's just, yep. We've done that fine. So we've taken this control of this station once more, and we're heading up there. So we are 65% more exhaustion versus their 53%. And oh dear. Okay, so someone else. So the commerce exchange. So this is these people down here that are now at war with us. Is not good. That is not quite good because all our forces are kind of focused elsewhere for the time being. Espionage, we can't really do anything. We could sabotage a space base, but that's about it. Yes, unfortunately most of our fleets over here. Surrender, we can't really do that. And there is also the 24 runners with almost 18,000 fleet power here. Is not going to be good for us. Okay, so anyway, ecological adaptation. Yes, let's go for that one. So archaeological site, that is being investigated. Relic activation. Okay, I think what we are probably going to do... Oh, there's actually volatile motes there. Okay, we need this one. As much as I hate to say it, we need this system. Let's actually have a look. Ooh, the drones that remove toxic kelp from job from Prime. That's interesting to note. Are they going to let us... They seem to be neutral to us, which is good to see. Unfortunately, they've just taken the system. So they are neutral to us, but they have just taken the system. Okay, Starbase. Can I upgrade? Yes. Is it going to do anything? Probably not. Can we reinforce the fleet? Yes, we can. Is it going to do anything? Probably not. Oh, okay, they have moved away. That's good to see that. Yep, reinforcements in transit, that is absolutely fine. We have come into contact with someone. I don't really care, as bad as that sounds. So the good news is that we have taken... Yep, Zero Core. I thought that might be one of them. So the good thing is that we've managed to take these 3 systems anyway. So the birdiers may just be about to become extinct. So what do we want? Do we want a disruptor? Do we want research? We want more research. Unfortunately, however, this means the 24 runners may decide to try and come and attack us, which is not going to be good. Oh, so the human diaspora just made peace with the 24 runners. Okay, so the human diaspora is just humiliated rather than losing any territory.
Technology secured.
There we go, gas extraction wells, we need that. Because we have a relic world and we've got some of those around. So where was it that we had some blockers? And the artisan troop, okay, that's fine. So we cannot unblock those, at least not for now. We can't unblock that either. But we can unblock these 2. So that gives us 2 generator districts and 1 agricultural district. So the old drones fitfully dormant on Jompron Prime's moon have become active again. Under the cover of night and spotty airspace surveillance, they have erected the framework of a gigantic structure a short distance away from our primary settlement. So we've got inconvenient space elevator. So realization of some outmodded concept known as a space elevator have to eventually be raised as it stands in the way of our expansion plans, and bringing it down will take some time. At least our engineers are giddy with the excitement of the prospect of studying the thing up close. So we gain almost 2,000 engineering research. But it does mean the minerals that we will gain from jobs on that planet is minus 20%. Which doesn't affect us because we don't have any mining districts set up at all. So we do have one unemployed pop. So what we could do, what are we lacking? It's probably actually be better off making and getting some energy districts up. So let me just pause. And is there anything that we can do to actually increase our energy? Not quite yet. We can bump up our research labs. It's going to take a rare gas, or exotic gas rather. Have a look at the market. So we are +2 a month. And you just popped in and you need some more stuff, so we'll get another energy plant done there. The research station output, another +10%. So we have encryption. Yes, I'm just going to keep doubling down on that once again. We'll go to the market and we will reduce this. So we get a bit more, minerals back again. So unfortunately we are now losing a bit of money.
We grow ever stronger.
Let's reduce this by 1.
Intellectual booty.
So we should be still keeping track. Yep, okay, we are still +1 on that, which is good to see. So alloy megaforges, which does require volatile motes. And let's go for afterburners and get that done, because that is just going to take us 5 months. So biocomputer fossil, 10 million year old relic, Peta God so this is basically connecting up young to train them to get ready for the hive mind's neural connection. So that's given us a few more minor artifacts to play with. So we could discover an Elgating site, we could proclaim superiority, sell to private collections and gain a bit of money. So the Carabiniers, what can you offer us? 150 consumer goods, not interested. Okay, so you are back there again. And where is our fleet? They are all here. Okay, so we can... Yep, so our bronze Soufet is going to take point. And did we actually choose... Yeah, I guess we did choose our war goal. So anyway... So bronze Soufet, go into here, 1.7k, okay. So, okay, I think we may end up in a situation where we are fighting to the status quo for them. Who are you? Okay, you're just the Carabiniers. And what we want to focus on is obviously trying to defeat someone and actually get a bit of a oh, so free minerals and new archaeological thing. So prehistoric bowel clones of their parent plants gradually develop the capacity for hive consciousness over millions of years. Is fine. More research that we've gotten. So, yep, so let's go for geothermal fracking and get that up a little bit. Let's keep an eye on how this is doing because we should be fine. Yep, so they're taking it all back. I'm not going to complain about, because so long as they are just staying in their system. So the Tepazoids have become xenophilic, which is once again fine. We have enough unity. So we'll get Bulwark of Harmony. When in a defensive war, which is what both of our wars are, ship build speed is increased by 33% and ship fire rate is increased by 15%, but only for ships within our borders. Anyway, we'll grab that and we can have a look. So, hydrocentric. No longer shall we settle for good enough replacements for our oceanic abodes. No planet shall be deemed fit for colonization until it has been thoroughly inundated. So, ocean terraforming cost is minus 25%, allows the construction of ice mining stations on star bases, which enabled the expand planetary sea decision on ocean worlds and flood habitat decision on habitats. Species with the aquatic trait gain 50% greater benefits for living on ocean worlds, but penalties for living on non-wet worlds are likewise amplified. Unlocks the Deluge Colossus weapon, but that does require the Colossus Project Ascension perk. So enigmatic engineering gives us +2 encryption, which is good for multiplayer, but not so much for anything else. Nihilistic acquisition, engineered evolution. Interstellar Dominion, their Destiny Transcendent Learning, Imperial Prerogative, Eternal Vigilance, Grasp the Void. As much as I hate continually going down the engineered evolution path, I think that is probably going to be the best one for us. So we now have the technology to genetically modify our bodies and minds. And our next one, become the crisis. So there we go. We are now the crisis. We now have this available as an option. So we start off as crisis level 1. So there we go. For a long time, we Picklings have known that we are meant for greater things, that our destiny was nothing less than the fate of the universe itself. Over the last couple of years, this notion has grown stronger to the point it can no longer be denied that great change is coming for Pickling society. In fact, we stand on the precipice right now. The galaxy may not be ready for our inevitable dominion, but the Pickling Star Coalition is ready for the galaxy. We will be misunderstood, we will be opposed, but we will not be stopped. Begins to become the crisis event chain, +1 crisis level potential, special project something beyond reality, and new crisis perks have been unlocked. So we can now use the existential expulsion casus belli and the imposed inclusion one. So let's pause and take stock. So Menace crisis level 1. So allows the accumulation of Menace by completing Menace objectives, which is what we have here. So destroy empires, destroy enemy ships, destroy star bases, purge or assimilate pops, destroy worlds, conquer worlds, vassalize empires, retain vassals. So that is 20 per month? No, 20 per year. Perform disruptive operations, which is 20 per thing, and be in breach of galactic community law, which is 120 per year. And then we have, so purge is unlocked as a policy option, population purge speed plus 500%, and intimidation, subjugation, acceptance plus 25. And in our situation log, we have become the crisis, so we can research that. We'll finish that in 16 months. And unfortunately for us, where we are is at number 8 with a score of 3581. So the human star core is 6730, but the 24 one is of 43,520. So we've got a little bit of a while. We have 420-ish years until the end game. There is no other crisis, so it is basically just a matter of who ends up In the year 2700 with the most points is the winner. For us, does that mean we could potentially become the crisis? Who knows? Let's continue on. So that is 3.9. And so we want to upgrade. Okay, so you're going to be going over to there for some reason. Because this doesn't actually have a shipyard. So anyway, shipyard, hangar bay, gun battery, missile battery. So we'll just leave you two there for the moment, and we can cut through anything that decides to come back. So 2,500, so that's 3.3. 4,000, I think.
Research complete.
So some more research for that, and yeah, capacity subsidies, get some more energy. Ooh. So advanced strike craft, synthetic crystal plants, or star base. Yes, I'll go for the modular engineering and get our star bases built a bit cheaper and quicker. Let me get rid of that. How is our market doing? We're probably actually fine to increase that a little bit, as well as this. Get a bit more money. And how are we doing? So we are pretty much level for our exotic gases for the moment. We want our... That is not our relic world, this is our relic world. And we want... Where is it? Gas extraction wells. There we go. So yes, so what do we have? So we can have 2 of each on this planet. And let's just see. So our crystal mines will give us +3 a month. Our moat harvesters will give us +3. And the Birdio has become more militaristic, which is fine. And we just have a look here. Okay, so each of these gives us +3. So on this planet alone, that is the potential for +6 for each of them every single month. So drones have woken up yet again, unearthed an ancient satellite and potentially partially repaired it. So 3,000 society research, which is going to bump things up again. This is going pretty well. So our construction ships are over here and over here. So you are still upgrading. And let's just bump up the speed a little bit more.
Research complete.
There's some research. And energy nexus. Yep, more research station stuff. And there we go, there is a fleet of about 4,000. Which we have almost 6,000. The investigation into the phenomenon now known colloquially as the Great Prospect has concluded. There is a hidden layer to the universe. The Physics and Society departments have jointly named this dimension the Shroud. So the next level of our crisis progression has been unlocked. So we still are at 0 menace because we've not really done any of this. However, we do now have the option to get to level 2, or crisis level 2, when we gather together 1,000 menace. So speaking of, how is that doing? That seems to be fine. And there we go. So they are all ready to go. So we can move those across. And okay, you are indeed taking out that station. However, that means we should be able to come in and start attacking. Archaeological Site, so yep, more information. Ecological Adaptation. And we can go for a Gene Warrior Army. So that is, I think that is better. Let me just have a quick look. So 1.95 to 3.9. Yeah, 3.75 to 7.5. Yes, we definitely want that. And then we'll just quickly wait here while the engineering research finishes up.
Technology secured.
Like so. And then we go for... Yep, get more minerals from miners. You are all in place. Let's go. And to say I said go, but mouse is not quite wanting to behave. Non-aggression pact and into a battle. So hopefully the fact that we have 2 fleets versus their 1. Oh, okay, so the drones have been slamming themselves into the planet and being destroyed. Okay, so this system is back in our control, and let me just have a look at the claims. Okay, so we did manage to push forwards to quite a lot. So we want to basically, yeah. So do you have a planet here? It doesn't look like it. So we could push all the way through to Menace and claim that for ourselves. Let's have a look here. So status quo, so we would still gain Riador. So that would also give us a bit of a headache because that is not really a good system for us because that does not give us a choke point. The human star core is again annoying. So we want to push down here to Vilith. So not only does that give shield nullification, but it is also a choke point. So we can have a look here, get it down. We can basically park a fleet here that has no shields, because anyone that comes in will have any shields stripped, and that will leave them at a disadvantage. Hello, Blue Cornflower. Sorry if it's been a minute or so since you put that comment in. I was a bit busy trying to look at all the wars and everything. So yeah, things are going fairly interestingly at the moment. So we have unlocked the first level to become the crisis, and unfortunately we are in wars with both the Birdiers and the Obha Commissariat. So you did here. So what we have here, so because we have this is it. So because this is a pulsar, yes, so I believe it's because of this star. So because this is a pulsar, it basically nullifies all shields for any ships that come in here. So what I was saying was that if we push forwards and get this place, then we can set up a custom starbase where we focus on, so like here we can see shields at 0%. So we can focus on a starbase that has just pure armor on it rather than splitting it 50-50 with shields. And then we can also put a fleet there which similarly just has armor and like the standard hull. And if anyone is silly enough to try and take over this with shields active, their shields will just basically become null and void the instant they enter into that system. So Starbase with just kinetic and armor, Um, gosh, I can't even remember because I know, like, back when the game first released, there were obviously the 3 different types of weapons against the 3 different types of armor and such, but it's been a while. Yeah, they've stripped that out. So a long expired set of covert codes has been reactivated. Code contains markers which signify intelligence on key political figures, so we can ignore it or ready an extraction team or ready an extraction team. So yeah, the game keeps reincarnating. Yeah, this Stellaris at the moment is almost like we had the original release of the game was like Stellaris 1, then the 2.0 release was effectively us getting a sequel, and now Stellaris 3 is almost a sequel to the sequel. So I don't know if you've seen much about the beta changes. It's like, you get a new game every year against your will. Well, they do allow you to roll back to previous versions. Let me actually just see on my one. So I'm on the 3.3 open beta, kind of testing it all out. So we obviously have the standard, like on the main branch is 3.2, but you can go back if you really want to version 2.1. Obviously you're not going to have any of the new features or the new changes, but you can go back to a previous version if you really wanted to. So anyway, you want to roll back to before they force tablings only. I think that was a 2.0 change, so unfortunately you can't go back to I don't think you can go back that far, unfortunately. But with 3.3 we have had a few changes that we've come through. So I don't know how much of those that you've seen, but leaders now, instead of energy, they require unity. So my start game strategy of like sell all the food, sell all of the consumer goods to get enough energy to recruit a bunch of scientists and pick out the best ones. Nope. That's gone now. I can't do that. You actually have to wait until you get your unity in. But the good thing is, you do actually get like unity from jobs now. So let me just go over here and we have... Yep, so our admin offices, they used to produce... Oh, what was the word? So they used to produce things that helped with your empire sprawl. Not anymore. They just now produce straight up unity. So if you can get unity at the beginning of the game... new buildings? Is it new buildings? Because I didn't actually see... or any new ones that were specifically new to me. At least not here. Maybe you need to research it and I just haven't got to it yet. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to start the game with that. Oh dear, okay, 4,700. Yeah, that one... Yeah, that is still Unity. Okay, so our once disavowed operative has made it back. He is never so relieved, but has cleared all security verification. So that could be interesting. Okay, this is why... Okay, apparently I didn't check how much power this had, so we need to retreat now. We need to retreat. So the auto... Huron, Chiron, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyway, so the monument, like, still gives unity, produces 1 unity for each ascension perk our empire has taken. So we have 3 ascension perks, so that will give us an additional +3. You like the pops on the tiles. Yeah, I like that as well. It gave a nice like visual representation for what your planet looked like. But it's kind of like one of these things. It's like, I like how the old system looked, but I prefer how the new system works, and unfortunately you can't really mix those two together. So unfortunately we have yeah, 5,200 fleet power there, so they're probably going to come back in. We are almost even on terms of war exhaustion now. Archaeological Site. Okay, so we have a new place that we need to have a look at. So situation log. We don't want that one open, we wanted this one. Where is this? Down there. So once again, research projects in the system and stop tracking. Yes, they always did look so happy when you had the population on the tiles. So, or from last week, we do have the Bowl as our precursor race, so we have the option to terraform planets into something that suits us quite a lot. We also have this species, which we picked up from one of our relics that has been happily helping us colonize a few more planets. But honestly, I'm just hoping that we're able to get the Bowl thing. I can't remember what its name is, that allows us to change things into Gaia worlds, because we have an absolute ton of planets. Like, we have the Trappist system within our borders, and that's got 3 Arctic worlds. I know, an Arctic world, a continental world, and a desert world. And we also have 2 more planets here we can colonize. One here, one here, one up here. Oh, and we actually have an exotic gas we need to grab from there, and one that we actually need to grab from here as well. So we need to have a look at that, and we may actually, yes, we can remove that, so we actually get a bit more back. You think the removal of the tiles is a deal breaker for me. You want to see your happy students if you're doing a good job. Yeah.
Booty.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, unfortunately. Oh, we finally got some cruiser technology. Yeah, I mean, well, if I just have a look at this, like, you do still see your populations. It's just not as direct as before. So you can still see them all here. It's just not as visible as when it was all the tiles and everything. Yeah. Changes are changes, whether you like them or not, like you said. So we do have one unemployed pop here, but we have... yep, sure. Well, I mean, I'm on a different planet one, so this is one that doesn't actually have too many populations on it. But you can still see them in, like, the jobs here. And this one is probably better because you can see all of the different typings. So the tile system does live on of a sort. It's just not as direct as it was previously. And we've also got all of our specialists here as well. And then our top tier rulers. The mechanoids are really cool, like the squids from the Matrix. Gosh, it's been a while since I've seen the Matrix, so I'll take your word for it on that. But yes, I did like this species portrait that I picked, and this one was just one that popped up when we used one of our relics, and you know, it was fine. Okay, so unfortunately it's still going to be a few months before one of our fleet gets back, and yes, we may be able to settle the status quo, but we are not going to surrender because that will mean that we lose like a whole bunch of our systems. We'll potentially gain this back. The previous tile system felt like a city due to the adjacent bonuses. These pops feel like an Excel spreadsheet, yeah. Like I said, it's one of these things. It's like you could probably argue for some kind of merging of the system, but seeing as this change happened in... gosh, I can't even remember how long ago. It's way past trying to figure that out. And maybe, I don't know, we'll have a new, better system in the future, or maybe they'll just keep on where it is now. Who knows? I still enjoy all of the, like, big meta stuff about it, even though changing from the tile system to the pops was something that I had to get my head around. So, surviving drones have been missing in action since they tried stockpiling the planet. History buffs say that the drones are still in close proximity. Expected time window for the next activation has come and gone, so basically just keep an eye on that. Oh, okay, discover the location of the third bow colony. Corresponds to a planet still possessing an atmosphere and life. Search for any remnants of the bow or the Gruner. So that is right where our scientist is. So let's excavate the site and investigate. So we are a little bit down on consumer goods. Where has that ship? Okay. So you are moving to the station. Someone has declared someone else their rival. So I think we'll probably need to just basically sit here. We have enough to upgrade that, and we have more than enough to upgrade that. And also come through here and upgrade that one as well. And finish off by upgrading this one. Okay, so more technology. Research station. My civilization type and government, I will get to that in a moment. Just let me finish up grabbing whichever research I want, which I think is going to be... Actually, we'll do colony development speed. So, this is from the Aquatics species pack that was released in November, along with the 3.2 patch. So, we start off with the Here Be Dragons option, which has us start with this little guy in our home system, and we've basically been researching and trying to communicate with it for the past 75-ish years. We have managed to get through the progression path, so we can now understand each other's language and communicate with us. So the Space Dragon does say that we are not yet ready. What ready means, we do not know, so we will just have to wait and see. And I do know from trailers and some things that you can actually draft the dragon into your military fleet and gives you a bit of a benefit on that. So we are a dictatorial empire, so we will only elect a new ruler upon the previous ruler's death, and it gives us minus 10% to our empire sprawl penalty, but we are fairly high anyway. So I think honestly your empire sprawl is capped at 50 now, unfortunately. So we can see here that so from 101 pops we have plus 93.2, which means that technology cost is up 13% and traditional adoption cost is up 26%, but our edicts upkeep is plus 198%. Our governing ethics, we are authoritarian, so we gain a tiny bit of extra monthly influence, and worker pop resource output is up +5%. We are xenophobic because we want to become the crisis. And we are materialistic, so we can get robot workers. So they give us -10 upkeep and +5% research speed. Our civics, to go along with becoming the crisis, we are pompous purists, which is one of the civics that was introduced in 3.2. So trust growth +30% and available envoys +2. But we can only engage in diplomacy with other empires if we are the proposer. So we can't, like, if any other empires come to us and say we want a non-aggression pact, we will automatically say no to them. If we go to them and say we want this, then it will be up to the other empire whether they accept or not. And we are also anglers, once again from the 3.2 patch and the Aquatics DLC. So on ocean worlds, agriculture districts are uncapped. On wet worlds, farmers are replaced by anglers and pearl divers. So instead of a bunch of food, we actually get a bunch of food, trade value, and consumer goods. So yeah, this is one that I did specifically create and do a little bit of a test playthrough just to make sure it all worked. So demographics, we are mostly pickling with a small population of these creatures, which is an extinct species. And like I showed you last week, our advisor is based on our government, which is the aquatic one. So there is some UI changes from last week as well, because basically the UI mods that I have were last updated in November, which works perfectly fine with version 3.2 of the game. Not so much version 3.3 beta, which was only released yesterday and is in beta, so it's not the main branch build, but there may be issues and difficulties, so I had to go and disable all of those because it was being a bit strange. I will just say it was being a bit strange. So where was I? So we are investigating that. We are at war. We have 96% war exhaustion against these, so hopefully we'll be able to just basically hunker down, build up our fleet capacity once again. But basically what I'm going to do now that we are the crisis is I'm going to try and push forwards into the Birdia Empire, destroy them, because that is going to give us a fair few options and give us some points towards becoming the crisis. Instead of the ship of Theseus, philosophers should say the Stellaris paradox. Yeah, maybe. Oh, okay, so they have come in here to actually wipe out us. That is not going to be good. So ancient drones panning for gold. So sorting out the errant innards of the shattered drones took much longer than anticipated. Each drone seems to have been built from a slightly different design. So one thing stood out: the parts were identical. The parts were of somewhat modern if alien make. It is likely that someone has done what we could not and tampered with drones. So that warrants further investigation. Yeah, they are going to slaughter us, unfortunately. So we are once again going to have to just figure out what we are going to do. So technology researched. Okay, do we have anything that we could potentially go for that will help us? I'm not sure we do. So I think the answer is just get some of the lower level research done. Okay, we need to upgrade our home fleets, and we need to sort that out. Fleet manager. Yep, new fleet. Home base. Or Bria. We're not in a pickle. We're in a little bit of a difficult situation, but I'm hoping that will be able to reinforce against it. Basically, we're at war with these people, so even if we, let's see, if we surrendered, so yes, they would take our home system. If we manage to hold out for a status quo, we will actually take one system from them, which is probably not actually beneficial because it changes our choke point into a branching one. The Ophars are pressing in against us. They have 7,000 fleet power, so I'm basically going to fall back and reinforce Aurovria, seeing as they will actually have to bring in an army to land on the planet to take it out, which is going to be annoying because that's going to mean we lose, so we lose a rare gas, or an exotic gas rather, from that, which is going to be a pain. But it means that we can push back, and it also actually benefits us slightly in that it means the Inaris only have one way into our system, which is up here instead of down here, and there is the potential that they will then, because they will have a link between them, that these two will start fighting up against each other instead of us and weaken each other. So we have a bit of a problem, but not so much of one. And with that, for at least the moment, I'm just going to quickly take a short break and then we'll come back to all of this in a couple of minutes. Okay, there we go. And at least the music's always good. Yes. As I admit, I have a well, if a video game has good music, then it can definitely elevate the situation. And I have a few different video game soundtracks on my phone for listening to. Like Stellaris is one of them because some of the songs I find absolutely fantastic. Oh, okay, and we actually have a few unemployed pops. We actually have a stronghold down here in Imdar Prime. That was, yes, because of the Inaris, and I wanted to build this up. We do have a fair planetary deficit though. So what could we potentially build here? Oh, so gas extraction well, do we actually have... Yep, we have a bubbling swamp here. That could be quite nice for us to add. I think we will. Yep, we'll add a gas extraction well to there. Play some game OSTs through the Steam program as well. Yes, you can do that. And last time I looked, which was a while ago, you could actually get it to search your music folders on your computer and play stuff that even wasn't from the Steam, like available from Steam's version. Okay, so that is just another bit of information that we have about the bowl. What could we potentially get here? Do we want to upgrade that? Because that will take a rare crystal, which we are getting +3 of each. System resolution has been passed. The Pan-Galactic Recycling Facility. Okay, that is fine. So we do have... Okay, generator districts, mining districts. So no special items there. That we know of because that is our relic world. Impassable Mountains doesn't have anything added to it. So we have unlocked our Gene Warrior Army. So now what else do we want? So a heritage site, which is the upgraded version of the monument. So it produces +2 unity for each ascension perk our empire has taken. The command limit, starbase capacity. Let's increase the amount of food that we are going to be getting, at least for the moment. Relic activation, we won't be bothering with that just yet. So how long is it going to be before you finish? Quite a while. And oh my goodness, okay, that fleet is all the way up there. So do we have a shipyard here? Yes, we do. So, fleet manager. So this one we have put home as the Orobria station. So 20 corvettes and 4 cruisers. Yes, we are basically going to be getting as many space stations available. Okay, ancient drones alien to the aliens. So one-way transmitters not sent to receive. The drones were not acting at the behest of some third party. Rather, some entity has been keeping tabs on them. As I remember Armageddon bombing a planet and watching the tiles of what's turned to rubble. Yes, that is fairly interesting. I'm not quite sure if we've got a similar thing. All battleships. Battleships, yes. Yeah, that was yeah, the most you kind of get now is just being able to see the defensive armies really being taken, unfortunately. So you have decided you are going to take okay, that's one all the way down there. Archaeological Site has finished. So site has been fully excavated, so we now just need to wait for the next one to pop up. Let me just check the situation log and make sure we don't... Yep, we don't have that one. And Society management, crisis. We have 35 points out of 1,000. So this is not going to go too well for us.
Intellectual booty.
Okay, there we go. Distress signal from a system previously unknown to us, which is there. And we do have a science ship. So let's send you over a research project in the system and keep our fingers crossed that we'll be able to actually defend ourselves.
We grow ever stronger.
So how many can we make? One. So lost encryption key. Politician on the capital is fired and demoted. Yeah, let's just do that one. And once again, more research, more research. So research institute or advanced research complexes. So what is the difference between these two then? Oh, okay, that is a special building and this is an upgrade. Right, got it. And I think we'll go for the energy nexus and just keep grabbing more and more on that. Speaking of, we'll decrease that and we'll actually add a new monthly trade and let's buy in some consumer goods because we are getting a bit low on those. So let's do that and also reduce our minerals by a tiny bit as well. And that should, yep, we're still 72. So the Alien Tolerance Committee. What do we honestly need? Well, we've got 9.3k. Oh goodness. Okay, yeah, so that is almost 8,000 fleet power there, which is not good. This one, like, barely has anything. So this may be a very, very interesting scenario. Thankfully, this one has been able to be upgraded. We don't have the Citadel technology, so that's as far as we can take it for now. Now, what do we want? So we could get a defense grid supercomputer and defend against that. I think we'll probably leave for the moment. I think we will get a listening post, however, because that will allow us to watch in here and get some better information. And then other than that, oh goodness. Anyway, I was saying, so 7 credits each. But we need a bunch of these.
Research complete.
And of course, this is when our home system gets attacked, and then the dragon miraculously swoops in and saves us. So hyper entertainment forums, teen clinics. Ship upgrade cost, yes, we'll go with that one. But yeah, this is when our, like, the big dragon comes back in and swoops down to rescue us. So we want to upgrade to a star fortress. This music always seems to play at the most intense moments for me. So we found the remaining drones, unwitting pawns in an elaborate scheme set up by an unknown faction. All they did was introduce self-contained alien technology, possess a technological know-how far in advance of our own, at least in certain areas. The drones have essentially been fattening up our colony as the pirates watch, waiting for the ideal time to strike. Our military analysis predicts that the pirates will strike within the next 2 years, so we can say let them come and gain 80 influence, capture the drones to send them to destroy their would-be masters, or we must not let this happen again, dismantle the drones for 3,000 engineering research. I think actually we'll send them.
Not so special now, was it?
And there we go, so the last bowl. Deep in the dilapidated ruins of the Time Worm Grunner Research Facility. pincushioned by nutrient tubes, and critically failing life support systems, lies one single organism, the last bow, miraculously still alive, surrounded by the sludgy remains of other specimens in a row of cracked and leaking vats. Owing to our extensive previous archaeological studies on the species, we should be able to attempt communication with this last specimen. Then let us try. A visitor, can it be? But you are not the ones who put us here, though you come as the alarm sound. Have you come to give us peace at last? So perhaps, but first we have a few questions. So then ask, like, tell us about yourself. So we sat beneath the stars on soft earth and furled our leaves like sails to the sun overhead. We remember every drop of water that quenched them in the parched summers, every shimmering hoar that blanketed them in winters. We bent in the wind as the stars wheeled overhead. We were uprooted, we were burned, we were sliced, we were left here, we watched our others rot in their glass prisons. So, what happened to the bowl? When the burners came, entire colonies were silenced before the danger was known to us. Like a limb gone limp, nerves cut suddenly and totally at the base. And we lost the next, and the next, and the next. One by one their voices left the chorus. We lost our others. Their silence deafened us who remained. We could not bear to hear more agony. The burners were swift, like you, swifter, and before we could withdraw they had set us all aflame. All burnt to ash, and the air filled with that grey agony, the dust of our lost. So, we have heard enough. So, wait, the bow trembles. Before it all ends, our kin. Please, we have been sealed here for so long, blind to all but this room, watching the stale air slowly wear the station down to its metal bones. Tell us, does our kind yet live? So, we can say in a sense that they are no longer sapient, or we don't have time for this and pull the plug. So let's be a bit interesting. So perhaps that is the best. The machine pumping mysterious fluids in and out of the creature's body begin to splutter and hiss. It is clearly on its last mechanical gasp, and the bow will perish without it. Silence, yes. At last it approaches. We welcome it as our brethren did so long ago. Farewell, Pictling. May your kind endure less agony in this world. So we can say farewell. We have found a relic, the last bowl. So, I have had this event chain before, and this is why I was so excited for this. So anyway, we've altered the drones, so they're going to be going back to whoever sent them to us. So society management, relics. Now, we are an aquatic species, which gives us minus 20% habitability on non-wet worlds. And I also took unadaptive, which means minus 10% again. So even if we find a brilliant world, we are hampered by a minus 30% habitability penalty. What the last bow does. So activation costs 3000 unity. Passive effects, pop growth speed plus 10%. Unlocks decision, new bow life seeding, granting the ability to turn one non-ecumenopolis, non-hive, non-machine world into a Gaia world. And a Gaia world is 100% habitability for every species. Every single one. So basically, every 10 years, so long as we have 3000 unity, we can turn a planet into a Gaia world every 10 years. This is why I was so excited when I saw that this was our precursor race, because, oh my goodness, do you know how powerful this is? It is fantastic. So, unfortunately, that does come at a time when we are deeply at war. Could I mouse over it again? Of course, yes. Yep, there you go. So, preserved in stasis, the body of the last known bow specimen serves as a silent memorial to the fate of the species, who, afflicted with the tragedy of genocide, ultimately retreated from sentience. So there you go. The Bao were our precursor race. They were attacked by the Grunners, I believe it's pronounced. And so some of them, being a hive mind, managed to just completely split off and essentially reverted back to what we would consider just regular trees. So the drone thing is completely different. That is a completely different event. So this all happened before potentially even our species gained sentient. And we stumbled upon the last living Baal after investigating a few of the old colonies, and we've managed to, I presume, take a sample or some such, which is going to allow us to seed a Gaia world. The drone system is over here, so for some reason we had a bunch of drones like spawn in the moon of this planet, and they've been randomly activating. So we had a first league satellite, so prehistoric communications, then they dumped a cache of minerals, and then they built us a space elevator. So what we've done is we've taken those, reprogrammed them, and then they're going to be investigating whoever sent them. They're two separate things, they just happen to be going on at the same time. So we are both at 100%. Goodness. Okay, there we go. So settle status quo. So yes, we gain a planet from them. There we go. We will accept this for now. So we are 10 years at peace with them. That gives us time to build up our thing. And up against the Opars, they are slightly above us in terms of war exhaustion, so they may honestly just park here and wait, and honestly if they do, that's going to be a benefit for us because we will lose these 4 systems. They already took this one from us earlier, so that means we can settle back here, and even though it's going to be our home planet and it is very risky, we can use this as our forward operating base. Hopefully build up our forces, push through, and be able to strike back at them.
Space charts updated.
There we go, okay. So we have our energy nexus as well. Oh. Sorry, I need to fix my mouse probably after this stream because it is flickering a bit in terms of zooming in and out. So colony development speed. Yes, I think we will go for that because we now have the last bow, which allows us to life seed any planet into a into a Gaia world. So we're going to come over here to the Grunner system. We have a tomb world here at 58% habitability, but we can potentially decide that we want to colonize it and then turn it into a Gaia world, which will be interesting to see how it works with ours, because I think one of the things that actually got added with the 3.3 patch was... Okay, I can't actually see it, but we have an option to just completely flood any worlds. So we do have quite a low naval capacity. We have quite a low... opposite way round. We're barely using any of our naval capacity. So anyway, new tradition tree. So what do we go for? So we... Prosperity could be an interesting one. What is the thing where you can become the endgame crisis? So this came with the Nemesis DLC, and you need to have picked 2 ascension perks before you can use it, and that is this one here that we have, Become the Crisis. So you finish your 3rd tradition tree and you can pick this, and then that opens up a research thing which is here, which we've completed, so called Something Beyond Reality. So you research that, and then under Society Management it unlocks this tab for Becoming the Crisis. You start off at level 1, So you basically allows accumulation of Menace by collecting Menace objectives, which we can see here to the right. Purge unlocked as a policy option, which increases the population purge speed by 500%. And Intimidation, so subjugation acceptance plus 25%. To get to the next level, we need to have completed the research, which we had. So have completed the first Become the Crisis special project, and we need 1,000 Menace. Then to get to level 3, we need to have completed the second Become the Crisis special project and 2,000 Menace. And then the third special project, 5,000 Menace, and then all the way up here, become the Crisis special project, 10,000 Menace, and not a subject of any other empire. So basically up here, so destroy empires. So if we go to war against the Empire of Berdia and we completely wipe them out, that gives us 200 Menace points. For every ship and starbase we destroy, we gain 5 points. For any purge or assimilation of a pop, we gain 5. For every destroyed worlds, we gain 150. For every conquered, 250, which is probably honestly where most of ours has just come from. Yeah. So because we conquered this one world here, we got 250 points. 200 points for every empire we vassalize. 20 points yearly for every vassal we retain. 20 points for every disruptive operation we perform. And 120 points every year as long as we are in breach of galactic community law. So we are still going to be a fair ways off of accomplishing that. But now that we've actually got it selected, we should be able to start pushing through on that. Okay, someone has completely disappeared off the galactic map, and we need to select a new tradition. So adaptability, diplomacy, domination, expansion, prosperity, subterfuge. So what does prosperity potentially get us? Basically just improving our planets. Expansion. Okay, expansion could be quite good. Domination is more like prosperity, kind of getting additional stuff. Diplomacy. We don't really want to be diplomatic. Adaptable. Not really. Harmony. Maybe harmony as a later one. But I think probably expansion, colony development speed plus 25%. Yeah, so we'll take that one and go that way. And then I think we will save up our unity for potentially Gaia or life seeding a Gaia world. So we've got something here. We can upgrade our planetary administration. Indeed, we will do that. And our spy master, the Empire of Berdia, reports a successful acquisition of a new asset. Nice to see. And let's have a look. What can we do? So we have our new asset here. So you remember the pops looking happy if the habitability was high, and they had side animations too. Yeah, I don't remember that because I don't think I really played too much before they changed the tile system, so I don't overly remember anything like that. So you are inferior in terms of technology and economy. And how are you up against us? Superior, equivalent, and superior. And the Inari, all equivalent, so we can build up our fleet capacity some more. The leaders gained a skill, which is fine. And what are you lacking? A load of...
We grow ever stronger.
That, okay, so we've built that. We can build a mining station. And do we have any other items for you to look at? It doesn't look like So we'll send you, I think, up here.
Intellectual booty.
Yep, and assist
We grow
research.
ever stronger.
Just to bump that up a bit more again. So new research has been done. Command center. Yep, ship fire rate plus 5%. We will grab that indeed. You're 90% sure that was the thing. Well, I'm like, it's not that I'm disbelieving you. I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, I don't recall that, but then I never played it much. So the ancient drones, the pirate fleet is inbound earlier than expected. It is likely our preemptive strike was successful, breaking, provoking and damaging them. Their fleet is roughly 30% smaller than projected. So they are.
Research complete.
That is adorable. 75 fleet power. Aww. Look at that. That is adorable. Let's go and stamp on you. Aye. So anyway, how are you doing? You are not still reinforcing. So the Inaris have become more egalitarian. And you need a leader. So I'll swap you around and get you there, and we want you to stay put because okay, I think the I think our station took care of that. I think our station took care of that, so never mind. You can go back to your home base. Yes, I think our station just took care of that. That is our construction ship. You are assisting research on that planet. Okay, that is good.
They wish to speak with us.
Oh, and I think that is the Opals wanting to basically end the war. So Research Institute. Let's go for some more physics research. So peace offer, status quo. Yes, they will gain the 3 systems that they've occupied. That 3? Oh, Ustik, that one, and that one, but not this one for whatever reason. Interesting. So unfortunately that is now a little bit isolated. But it may mean that we're able to actually upgrade it and put a fleet up from there and have that as another operating base. So because those were originally our systems, yes. Because those were originally our systems, we can claim them back. And speaking of that, going to make some claims on a bunch of your systems. And so what can we do here? So I definitely want a listening post. Actually, a listening post would be better off on this one. Fleet Academy, yeah, ship starting experience. So we'll upgrade that to a Starhold, and then we'll add a listening post into it. This one we can't upgrade to a Citadel, but we can. So Shipyard and Trade Hub. We want Hangar Bay, Missile Bay, and Gun Battery. And then on next one, yeah, they're basically returning the favour by claiming a bunch of our systems as well. Anyway, we want that. So Hangar Bay, Missile Battery, and Gun Battery. I think we may want actually a second shipyard. So I'll add that one on. And then buildings. Yep, we won't worry about a listening post, so we'll have a look at some of the other ones instead. Engineering research. Battleship hull points. That will be really useful. And back up here, we need 313 for that one. But we can put these buildings in. And that is a Fleet Academy. Okay. And yes, a listening post. Basically clear ourselves out of any and all minerals. Are you at war? No, you just look like you've got rivalries and casus belli on people. It's just your fleets are kind of manoeuvring all around, so I just wanted to make sure of that. And we have obviously enough points to do one of our activate relic. So show us your wares. Ancient artifacts. So 300 alloys for 5 minor artifacts. No. We are fine on that. We've got 109. So I think we are fine. We could discover an L-gate insight. Oh, someone's died. Our leader. There we go. So we need a new scientist. Let's see. So annoyingly, because this is all taking up a load of unity, which is something that is very, very difficult to come by. This is a bit of a dangerous task to be doing, but I am trying to see if we can actually find one before we run out too much. Yes, there we go. Just as I was about to stop. So one of the other changes that was made in 3.3 is that scientists that are now used for researching technologies can actually gain additional traits, whereas before it was pretty much only the scientists that were in science ships that would randomly gain them. So we are lacking some consumer goods there, so we'll add some. And similarly here, we'll add that. Oh yes, because this is one that we took. The luxuries, land appropriation. Oh yes, so yes, I forgot about that. So that means we have so you are Alpine preference, ingenious, nomadic, resilient, quarrelsome, solitary, egalitarian. You know what I'm going to do? Species. Set rights. And can we not? Oh, we need to undesirable, purge, and extermination. We could process them and get some food out of it. Chicken nuggets. Okay, sorry, that was really bad. So forced labour. So work to death and can be used to produce food and minerals until their eventual demise. We could just displace them, we can neuter them. We'll exterminate them because they are not, admittedly not that useful, and we only have 8 of them in our society. And while we're actually doing that, let's see what can we do. So we could actually move our planetary preference across. And okay, so slow breeders, so we could remove non-adaptive as well. Slow breeders is absolutely fine. So we could pick one thing with 3 points. So agrarian. So we could actually make ourselves intelligent. Natural engineers, we could make ourselves very strong. Quick learners, talented. Nomadic. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm not quite sure if changing the planetary preference will also affect us. And look at that, in the time I was taking to have a look at that, we've gone down from 8 to 2 birds in our system. So yeah, so that also should have given us, so we were at 285, So yeah, there we go. So purge or assimilate pops. Because of that, we've gained 70 from that. And we're now a bit over a third of the way to the next level of basically becoming the crisis. So let's have a look at our fleets. So we have cruisers and we can add a battleship, which is 8 points. Okay, so destroyer is 2 points. So corvettes are 1, destroyers 2, cruisers are 4, and a battleship is 8 points. Blue cornflower, saw a YouTuber genetically create a terrible species on purpose. All the negative traits, plus fast breeding, put them on a planet and gave the planet to an enemy. That sounds like an interesting situation. I wonder what have happened to them. Oops. So we want... Okay, so 20 corvettes. Okay, we can't do that. Let's do 5 of that. And 1 battleship. That is 48 on each. Okay, and that is, we need a little bit more naval capacity to be able to do that. Ended up being half their people. I can imagine, yes. That's actually 15 there. 15 there. Okay, that gives us perfect. A perfect amount. So 3 fleets need to be reinforced with 41 ships. Unfortunately, we can't quite see what that is. But obviously, seeing as it's 13,500 alloys, 14 exotic gases, and some rare minerals. Well, we're doing fine on all of those. Which reminds me... Okay, yeah, we are still buying a bunch of consumer goods. Let's move that up. And we have an unemployed pop here. What can we do? Not really anything, but what I'm going to do is actually do a stronghold. There we go, finished its construction queue. We've got a nice shiny citadel. Buildings. So we have a crew quarters. We want a fleet academy. And naval logistics. Black Hole Observatory is not anything we can do.
Intellectual booty.
Transit hub. Optional field generator communications. Yeah, I think we will build ourselves a defense grid supercomputer and keep our home base, our home planet, safe and secure. Fingers crossed, anyway. So, more society research. And we are starting to actually lose a bit of money. So let's... I always manage to click on the wrong thing. Anyway, we'll sell a bit more food because we have the capacity for that. We are just losing a tiny bit per month. And is there anything? Because probably, yeah, we were getting a fair amount here that was helping prop up our economy. Oh, we could actually go and, you know, like take these ones out because they've been just swimming around there for pretty much the beginning of the game. So that's about 1,200. Yeah, let's build up this.
We grow ever stronger.
Let's build up that fleet. And there we go. Okay, yep. We are positive across the board, which is always good to see. Nope, we're negative white again. I shouldn't have said anything. And you are... Yeah, because you are... 1 and 2. So we can actually get you building up a little bit, and then we can upgrade this. And that will, once again, as with Aura Bria, we will be able to use that and build it up as a defense area. So listening post, Fleet Academy, yeah. Okay, I think I know what we are doing. I hope. Senators are in session. What are we voting on? The Readied Shield. Diplomatic Week from Fleet Power. Yes, and plus 10 naval capacity. Yes, we will go for that. Oh, someone said no, the Human Star Corps. You are huge. What are you worrying about?
We grow ever stronger.
The Human Star Corps is not being led by a human.
Research complete.
And I swear they weren't a mega corporation before. I swear they weren't a mega corporation before. Okay, so anyway, what can we get here? Auxiliary fire control. Yep. And what else do we want? Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about with my mouse. It just seems to click in and out when it wants to. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put another hangar bay and another shipyard there, and hopefully that will help us have a bit more defensive capabilities. And oh no. Okay, we are starting to okay, so yeah, reduce that, reduce that. Okay, we need a lot more money. I think I know what's happened, because that fleet is no longer orbiting the system, so everything is just tanking. So you say I can upgrade capital building ready to be upgraded because we're lacking minerals. Right, that would be why. And what do we need here? Okay, so we can't actually get rid of any of those. So we want... We're lacking minerals. Researchers on Bria Laura have eagerly anticipated the countdown. Ah, yes. Of a mysterious atomic clock of prodigious precision found on Polkor B2 for the past 42 years and 3 days. Several decades worth of heated speculation and conjecture have evaporated in an instant. The clock has now just reached its momentous deadline, ejecting a stream of self-replicating nanites. They have constructed some manner of advanced computational network on the surface of Polkor B2. Network is inactive and seemingly devoid of any AI, but studying it should keep them occupied for quite some time.
Intellectual booty.
So which one was that? Ah, this one right up here. Okay, so... nope, we don't want to do that. Cancel that order. Where is our construction ship? There. So there we go, build research stations. From the Hitchhiker's Guide, maybe? I'm not quite sure. I know there is the Horizon event, which also seems to be inspired by it. Energy credits from technicians, yes, because our economy is just tanking. Market. Okay, apparently... Okay, let's reduce that by a tiny, tiny bit, and this as well. Oh goodness, okay, as much as I hate to do it, we are going to have to sell some of these. They are selling for over 10 credits per thing, and we are still... Actually, you know what, we'll reduce that to just 15. That is going to get us a really high amount. Okay, our minerals we are slowly increasing, which means But you could probably reduce that. They are just selling for
Research
seems
complete.
like standard,
We grow ever
a bit higher, a lot higher. And those have pretty much settled down now. Engineering research. What can we get? Double down on getting more research. Ascension. So Starbase influence cost, new colonies. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that for now. Because none of those are specifically what we are interested in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to remove that completely. So, time project, yep, debris. So we obviously want to move you there and research projects and then survey, and then we'll send you back to the home system, and that will hopefully get our economy up a little bit better. Change that over. Oh, yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking when something just suddenly takes an absolute nosedive.
Technology secured.
Okay, so we can build something there. That gets us a bit more. And yeah, let's get some of these cheaper items out of the way initially.
Flotsam salvaged.
So debris analysed, crystal infused plating and regenerative hull tissue. We've gained a bit of points towards that, which I think they said that regenerative hull tissue was now actually going to be useful and viable, which will be nice to see if that is indeed the case.
Seized.
Yep, more of the same, because that is like
Research complete.
pretty much low level stuff. And yeah, there we go, regenerative whole tissue. Just checking anything else that I want to grab before then. Nope, so we'll pick that up. And so we have got a few things that we need, so let's have a look. Oh, we are basically missing a load of stuff. There, I'm just going to pause and keep an eye. So I think what we'll do is we'll build a civilian industry, which will give us 2 jobs and allow us to get some more consumer goods. So this will be upgradable when we get 542 minerals. I think we are good on that for now. And let's just have a look around at some of these other ones. You are just missing a tiny bit of those, and alloy foundries. So we are good on housing, but we will need some probably hollow theatres. We'll be able to grab that in a bit, seeing as we are now making almost 60 minerals a month, which is good from where we were, thankfully.
Space charts updated.
Okay, so that's all done there. So build a star base, and we want to send you back to here because I don't think, nope, there is no one that is helping that. The strangest sci-fi I ever read was Stranger in a Strange Land, about a human born on a Mars colony who has Jesus charisma plus psyche plus hyperintelligence. Creates a religion that's very strange. Yeah, that does sound, well, as the title says, Stranger in a Strange Land, so I guess it's true to its title. So we've got 10,000 unity, and it doesn't look like there is a limit on that. We can unlock gateway travel. Oh goodness, so that is going to be quite interesting. We'll grab shield capacitor and clear that out, but gateway travel, that could be very, very interesting because that will take us who knows where. There's nothing particularly special about that system. Anything else we could build here? Doesn't look like it. So we need, yep, there we go, the listening post for that. And then those 4. So we have 3,000.
Summon the fleets. War has been declared against us.
Okay, I was going to say that we'll have a look and consider where we are, but no, someone is deciding that they don't want to be peaceful. So how many fleets do you have? Famous book in America, despite being very sexual, liberal and hedonistic. Yeah, I think I may have heard of the title. I mean, it sounds familiar. Okay, so they have 3,500, 4,500. They have about 6,000 troops, 1 planet. So I wonder. I was just about to say that we will have a look, and oh my goodness, that is horrible. Why would you even do that? No, change that for a shipyard. Change that for a missile battery and change that for a hangar bay. I don't know why you do that. Crew quarters. Okay, target uplink community. No, I will change that for a fleet academy. Thank you very much. And so we have 4,700 over here. So honestly, we'll reinforce down this section because we have 12,600 strength and this is 5,600. So if we could potentially bait them into here and then attack them, let the station take the brunt of it, and then we run in there with our fleets, that could be a potential. And let me just check. I did have, yes, they have 1 battleship. Oh, and we actually do have a bit of advanced okay, so we do have some more fleet capacity that we can use. So, and 6 and 2 and 6 and 2 and 6 and 2. That puts us just over, but we are admittedly only running with 2 out of the 3 fleets. So we should be good. Reinforce that, so that is giving us those 4 cruisers. How much is the battleship? Well, yeah, over 1,000 alloys each. It's where the word grok was coined, which means to drink in Martian, but figuratively means to thoroughly comprehend, love, or be one with something. Okay, yeah, I've heard of grok before. So let's see. So impossible mountains, dense jungle, massive glacier. Okay, so massive glacier on that one. That doesn't have anything. That has a dense jungle for a crystal mine. That doesn't have anything. So what was that? Dense jungle. Yes, there we go. So we've got that. That will take us 4 months. And you're just wondering what an event chain with discovering this cult leader would be like. Yeah, I can imagine it would be fairly interesting. So someone's swearing at us, the 001 Matrix. We have no idea about anything to do with them. So we can just leave that for the moment. Oh, yep, we need to do our war goal. So honestly, we will just do a claim against them for basically everything. They don't have too much around. We do still actually have our transport fleet that's been hanging around here for absolutely forever. Sorry guys, kind of forgot about that. So shield capacitor. So tachyon. Sensors. Plasma accelerator. Improved reactor booster. Once again, we'll do more research and we'll just wait on the research screen because we've got a few things that are finishing up in about a month.
Complete.
Like that. And yeah, let's go for the Galactic Bureaucracy. Book came out in 1961, very popular with hippies and nerds. Okay, yeah, I can imagine that, being how the 1960s perception or is perceived nowadays. Pause. Thank you. We infused plating. Yes, so we'll grab that. We've got 10 months remaining on that. So it does mean that we're going to have to make sure we have our fleets reinforced. Okay, yeah, so they have 6,000 there. Can we actually see them? Yes, we can. So they are moving over to here. Close borders thing. So they're moving to here, and then obviously they will move up to here. 6,000 is going to take out our station. But potentially, if we have ours come into there and just hang back for a bit. Because we can obviously see into here, and we can see that obviously they have just the absolute basic starbase to control the system. And they are just waiting. So I don't know if they're waiting for something specific. Yeah, they're just waiting at the edge there. Okay. That is the crystal infused plating. Battleship build cost, yep, we'll grab that. Of course, the thing is, the longer they wait here, the more we're going to build up our fleet, and the worse they are going to end up. So I think that means we should be able to get our first destroyer in. And we are still having a little bit of trouble in terms of our energy production. So we do need one more housing, but we'll get a technician job up there and that will sort that. So that means we can do that, and then we can get a crystal mine, which means we'll get another +1 rare crystal each month. Yeah, they are honestly just standing there. Well, works for me because it means we'll be able to come through and cut through their empire soon enough.
Research complete. Research complete.
Yep, come on, merge together. Okay, gateway travel. We can go for gamma laser there, and let's get a bit more starbase capacity. I know we're only out of 6 of 10, but we will need some work. Okay, so energy grid. We need some more of that. So yeah. So it produces energy credits. I'll be +13. Yeah, I think we need that, and we're going to need to obviously upgrade it as well as we go along. You have, yeah, the capital building can be upgraded, which we'll focus on in a bit. Okay, we have 8.4 fleet power here. Let's have a look at this. Okay, apparently somehow you have gained 2 cruisers that I didn't necessarily want you to have, but never mind. Let's just head you in. Okay, so what is your space station? Basically 1.7, basically nothing. 3.9, which may be a bit of a problem. Let's have a look in here. There we go, and just keep an eye on this. Because obviously I've just been leaving the computer, the auto build options on. So I have no idea how good these are technically against our enemies. But as per usual with things, so a skill 3 scientist, no, we're way ahead of that. Basically, as is true in most paradox strategy games, the bigger number always wins anyway. Oh.
War has been declared against us.
Okay. That is interesting because I wasn't quite expecting them to do that. So they have decided to guarantee the birdiers, which means that they are now at war with us as well. No, we don't want command limit, we want capacity. So unfortunately, it is 5:30 and I think we are going to have to leave it there, where we have just been, or we just basically have a second war to contend with. I have no idea if they're going to be trying to come down here and grab this one. If so, they are, well, we've basically got no choice because that is, yeah. So we could bring into the fold, actually. So fought to subjugate other civilizations. They will join compliant support or they will be obliterated. So there we go. We'll set that as our war goal. So what will happen? So they will become a vassal if we win. Settle the status quo will be just basically nothing. And then the Inaris will gain a couple of our planets if we surrender and 6 systems. So that is unfortunately where we are going to have to leave it. We are 93 years in, so we have another 600 years to go before we can even remotely begin to think about getting or winning the game. At the moment, the Quinty of Forerunners are still miles ahead of everyone else. Just to recap, there is no random crisis that will spawn. Basically, when we get to the year 2700, whoever has the most points will win the game. And at the moment, we are down here with 5,694 points. So we will have to see what happens, where we will end up next Saturday at 1:30. And just a reminder, Tuesday we have things set up so that I will need to buy the DLC, but we will be doing a City Skylines playthrough with the new airport DLC, getting to see that and how things are going. Blue Cornflower, I think you can still choose to continue the game even after the winner is declared. I think you can if you don't have a... let me just bring up, so a new game thing. So what I have is that the victory year, the game will end. Okay, yes, it is still possible to keep playing past this year. Okay, yeah, I wasn't quite aware of that. I thought that was, if you set the victory year, that was it. But we can continue playing afterwards, which will be nice to do if we somehow manage to get there ahead of the Crusader Kings 3 DLC being released, which I have put a notification both for Crusader Kings 3's newest DLC and also City Skylines Airport DLC on Tuesday. There are notifications and events set up in the Discord for that if you want to click on them and be notified, but obviously I will still send out a ping to people to let them know that I am streaming, and there will be a message on Twitter as usual. And Blue Cornflower, at the game over screen you can click the one more turn button. Okay, so we have a bit of a buffer then. Even if we don't win the game, we can still continue playing and just bulk out a bit of time if we so happen to finish before the Crusader Kings 3 playthrough. But that's it for me for today. That's it for me for this week. I will see everyone again on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Thank you very much, Blue Cornflower, for popping in and chatting. Thank you to Opasin for also coming in earlier, chatting, following. And thank you to everyone else who's popped in to have a look and enjoy things. Blue Cornflower, the roles in the Discord, they're just basically for whether you want to be, or they okay, start my thought process again. So because I'm someone who both enjoys playing games and also doing art and writing, there are channels for both, obviously, games and also writing and such. So you can either choose the role to either have information for and chat about games if you are someone who kind of watches me just for me and is more interested in the art side. You can choose that one instead, or you can choose both and be notified for everything. They're not accessible. Okay, I may need to fiddle around with that because I only set them up earlier today. I'm using a new bot for them, so I'll have a look at them and fiddle around and get things set up with that. But yeah, so for now I think that will be it for today, and I will see everyone next stream.